Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another watch along with Poets on the WCB podcast page. Happy to be along. Going to have Tanner joining me shortly as we get ready for the championship game between Team USA and Team Canada. There is a lot going into this hockey game, a lot of buildup, a lot of angst. Political turmoil, really whatever you want to throw at it. That's what you got going on here in a tournament where essentially this was just supposed to be kind of a fun, different look at an all-star game to try to change things up and get it a little bit more competitive. And now this thing has kind of blown up into something incredibly epic. This is something that I don't think the NHL really could have foreseen being as big as it has gotten. Um, and I think a lot of it comes back to, as exciting as all the other games were, that game last Saturday, Canada and the U.S. I think that was certainly a wake-up call, especially the first 3 seconds of the game. Getting two fights in the first 3 seconds, and then a fight, 30 seconds after that. I certainly think that the NHL was not expecting something like this to take off as much as it has, and I think it's going to be around for quite a while. Right now, we've got the starting lineups going for both teams. The honorary captain for Canada will obviously be Wayne Gretzky. And the honorary team captain for the U.S. is Mike Eruzione, 1980 Miracle on Ice captain. Scored the game-winning goal against the Soviets. Opening lines here for the U.S. are going to go with the Brady Tkachuk, Jack Eichel, and Matthew Tkachuk line to start it out, with Jacob Slavin and Brock Faber on the back end. In goal, Connor Hellebuck has been absolutely brilliant. This is a guy who's had a spotlight on him for quite a while due to his lack of solid play, I should say, or consistent play when it comes to big games, playoff mentality games. He has certainly shut that down in the Four Nations. In this tournament, he is 2-0 with a 1.0 goals against and a .957 save percentage. On the other hand, Jordan Binnington is getting the start for Canada. He is 2-1 with a .260 goals against, .892 save percentage. Not as sparkling of numbers, but Jordan Binnington is somebody who definitely knows how to show up and play in a big game, especially in Boston Garden. Back in 2018, 2019, 2019, Game 7 Stanley Cup was rock solid, got a shutout victory. I believe it was a shutout victory in that game. Might have only given up one goal now that I'm thinking back at it, but played phenomenal in that game and has certainly played in some big games over the course of his career. Both team captains have shook hands at center ice, Matthews and Sidney Crosby. And we get ready for the national anthem.
In the spirit of this great game, we kindly ask that you respect the national anthems and the players that represent each country. Please welcome Chantal Creviatin for the singing of the Canadian national anthem.
Oh, Canada, terre nostalgie, true patriot love that only us command. With glowing hearts, we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. from far and wide. Oh, Canada, we stand on God for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on God for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on God for
Disrespecting the Canadian national anthem is out the window. Boos throughout. Stay classy, Boston. All right. There we go. Both national anthems have been sung. Starting lineups have gone through, and look at that. We get Mr. Tanner Houston on the call. Tanner, how you doing? Can't hear you, Peach. Hang on. Might be me. All right, try it again, Tanner. Oh, and a surprise Jerem pickup. How are you? How are you now? I think I see Miss Colleen in the background as well.
Hey, all right, poets. I wanted to just jump in real quick while Tanner gets all set up. Said great job so far. You're looking fucking fantastic, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, we're in.
All right, I'm gonna head on out. You two take it over. Have a good night, boys. Let's go USA, baby.
All right. Hey, Jared,
USA.
before you go, how about a congratulations, huh? The guy
Yeah,
finally did it.
Yeah, thanks, bud.
He
Appreciate
did
it.
Brother got engaged. Congratulations, you and
Hell yeah.
Colleen.
Thank
Hell
you.
yeah.
Love you, boys.
All right. Enjoy the game. Tanner, what
Yes,
are you most excited about? What are you most excited about looking at this game?
I mean, just the menace that Matthew Tkachuk is going to be, and Brady Tkachuk, just living in Canada's brains for a whole year until the Olympics next year.
Last game started out absolutely wild. Based on the way that the starting lineups are put out there today, there's no shot that we're getting a fight right off the bat. Right?
Hey, Eichel versus McDavid right off the rip. Like, it could happen.
Imagine just a total curveball and people aren't even expecting it.
Yeah,
That
Eichel
would
just
be
going like, I
unbelievable.
should have gone first overall that year.
Oh boy. All right. So starting lineups. I mentioned USA. Tkachuk, Eichel, and Tkachuk starting out with Slavin and Faber on the back end. And Canada going with Point, McDavid, and Stone up front with Taves and McCarr on the back end. I was trying to finish out a point about Jordan Binnington. Obviously, not great numbers in this tournament, Tanner, but this is a guy who knows how to show up for big games, especially in this building. Game 7 against Boston a couple years ago, won the Stanley Cup with the St. Louis Blues. This guy, I feel like you got to get on him early and often.
Yeah, I think for the most part throughout the tournament, he's pretty much not looked comfortable. And
I would agree.
And it's been a lot of like, it seems like pretty lucky saves, especially against USA last time, where he would just basically barely get a leg on a cross ice pass and just doesn't look comfortable at all. And I honestly think it's because he doesn't fit. Like, obviously if you're looking at stats from like just this season alone, he's the 6th best Canadian goalie out there right now.
If I mean, he's lucky to be called 6th best.
Yeah. And and the Canadian goalie market right now is pretty rough.
Yeah, it's if you've got, and with all due respect, Aiden Hill as your number 2. I know the guy's a Stanley Cup winner and everything like that, but yikes, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Aiden Hill was also that scenario of like he was dropped into a situation that he played really well in because it wasn't his net going into that postseason. Yeah. Like Logan Thompson did a lot of the heavy lifting that year, and then he just went down at the wrong time.
Well, and I also kind of like to call it the Darcy Kemper effect, where Darcy Kemper is a pretty solid goaltender. Is he a Stanley Cup caliber goaltender? Probably not, but you put him on that team, the Colorado Avalanche team that they had. I think you could put, either one of us in net, and we might be able to get to the final at least. So
I love that you call it the Darcy Kemper effect because I always called it the Auntie Niemi.
I'm trying to give Nemo a little more respect than that.
But like that's what I said about Grubauer before Kemper came in. I was just, everybody was like, "Oh man, he had such a good year," and then I was just like, "He's just Auntie Niemi 2.0." Like,
correct. There's really no difference.
Exactly.
All right, first good chance here. That's Gensel right in the slot, sends it right over the net. Hughes is able to pull it out of a corner battle in front for Matthews, who's trying to score his first goal in 8 games, Tanner. I think we can safely say something's bothering Austin Matthews.
I think it's been a nagging injury. Honestly, like ever since he probably came back from having that procedure in Germany, right? Like
probably. Matthews with the rip off the shoulder of Binnington into the corner. They battle. Finds its way in behind. Pulled out of there by Anthony Cirelli. Flips it out to center ice. About a minute and a half into the hockey game, U.S. has had pretty much all of the control so far. A couple of opportunities towards the net. McKinnon up to center ice. dumped into the U.S. zone. Nathan McKinnon certainly wants a bit of a better performance than the last time that he was out there against the U.S. One shot on net in 60 minutes for Nathan McKinnon.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty surprising. That's just that U.S. defense though, shutting it down.
Yeah.
Like all those Canadian speedsters just couldn't get anything going.
U.S. defense is going to have to find a way without Charlie McAvoy on their back end. That's probably the biggest story heading into today's game. Charlie McAvoy unable to make it, and then the whole drama with his Quinn Hughes coming. Isn't he coming? Mike Sullivan even said he's in. So, there is no Quinn Hughes today. He was unable to make it out, and I'm not sure. I've seen conflicting reports of whether it was actually that they couldn't add another person or that Hughes wasn't actually medically cleared to play. But in any case, he is not here.
I'll reference 32 Thoughts today, though. They mentioned, or they had like a small pod today where they were talking about the Quinn Hughes situation, and basically just brought up the fact that he said he would go if he was going to play, and there was no guarantee he would play because of the rules. And then I think for Vancouver, like he was in Vancouver, it would be like coming to Boston, and then they have Vegas on Saturday, and like the travel wouldn't make sense unless he was guaranteed to play.
Unless he was 100%. Yeah, that makes sense.
But I think it's just, if you're going to call it a best on best tournament, like let him play.
Yeah, let him go. Cross ice pass from Hagel. There's a wrist shot coming from Cirelli. Hellebuck able to get a glove on that, knock it in behind. Canada throws it out to the point. Wrist shot from the blue line, kicked aside by Hellebuck. Easy stop there. And the U.S. comes back out to center. Gensel will drop it off to the far side. Werenski coming in, shooting one. Oh, and a good stop there from Binnington. How good has Zach Werenski been?
Oh, just phenomenal this whole year, right? I mean, he's in the Norris talks now.
Yeah. 5 points leading not only Team USA, but is tied for number one in the entire Four Nations face-off in points. 5 assists for Zach Werenski.
Didn't he have 3 points against Canada, or was it just a couple?
Against Canada, he had, I've got 1 assist.
Oh, he was plus 3.
2 shots.
Was he plus 3 though?
I think so.
That's what I was getting. Yeah,
So
I think
a couple really good opportunities for US to start out, Tanner.
I think that Werenski had gone through some injury issues over the last few years. I think it was ever since Kessel got him, and then now that he's like fully healthy and kind of given the reins with like all the other injuries to the leadership, like he's really running away with it.
That injury was one of those plays. I understand that it's playoffs, and this has actually bothered me for a little while. Every time I see the video clip of it, he took a puck straight in the mouth and went down immediately.
Yeah.
In what world is that not called right away? That would whistle down right away. That has always bugged me, and I would like to know why they allowed that to play, because it's the referee's discretion of, is it serious enough for us to stop play?
Yeah, maybe it's because it's playoffs.
Blood was everywhere. I mean, that's, in my opinion, there's no reason why that shouldn't have stopped. But that's just me holding on to things for the past, 5 years now?
Yeah.
Plus years.
Yeah, because that was pre-COVID.
I think so. Yeah. That's always bugged me. And that's the first thing I always think of when I think of Werenski. Oh, there's a shot and they score. Team Canada gets on the board first. And who is it but Nathan McKinnon? He wanted to have a good start to the game, and he did.
That's all right. I mean, Canada scored for his last time.
That's true.
And I mean, you had to know Canada was going to come out even hungrier.
Absolutely. And how they know the feeling of losing on your own home turf. They're going to want to push that right back on the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
That's a seeing eye shot right there from Nathan McKinnon. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4 bodies that had to miss. It might have even glanced off of Reinhart on its way through. But nonetheless,
that didn't touch anybody, I don't think.
Canada jumps out about 5 minutes in, and Connor Hellebuck had some trouble finding that puck. Chance for U.S. back the other way. Pass across from Gensel. Just misses Matthews. Canada will come back out to center ice. It's dumped in. U.S. will settle it down. That's Zach Werenski. Brad Marchand in his own building here, Tanner. Is he getting boos or is he getting cheered?
That's what I'm curious. Is Marchand gonna get the boos and Kachuk gonna get the cheers? Because that's gonna be feel real weird in Boston.
Real strange for the people of Boston. Granted, I don't know how many people are in attendance tonight that are actually from Boston. Obviously, probably a majority, but I think that there's people from all over the world that are at this game for sure, or all over the U.S. I should say.
Probably, a healthy amount of Canadians too. It's close enough.
Oh yeah, yeah. We'll get a whistle off of a high sticking call. They're showing that replay. Harley is in today for a sick Josh Morrissey. Thomas Harley has jumped in for him and gets an assist on that goal. What a shot there!
Isn't that such an interesting situation with Harley? Because he's born in like Syracuse, New York.
Yeah.
And then his dad or something is like Canadian, but they would never took him on like any of the national teams growing up. So then he just like went over to Canada, and now he's at the Four Nations playing for him.
Right. In the championship, and has now gotten an assist on the goal. Crazy.
Yeah.
Marner has it. Will throw it out to the point. Dropped off to Doughty on the far side. His shot deflected off of Cirelli in front. Goes to the near boards, clearing of attempt. Held in. Cirelli has it once more in the slot. He shoots. That one deflects wide. Cirelli after it again. He's all over the puck early on in this hockey game. Battles in the corner. Hagel there. He'll chip it up the wall right onto the stick of Boldy, who sends it all the way down. It's a good note there from ESPN. Canada has scored the first in all 4 of their games, and the U.S. has trailed in all 4 of theirs. Tanner, can you remember any others, important times in USA history where they trailed in every single game that they played in? Just off the top of your head?
No, not off the top of my head. Should I?
1980, buddy.
Is that what it was? I was like, it could have been, but I don't know. Like, were they trailing?
Every single game they came from behind.
So, like, didn't they play Sweden in the gold medal game? They came from behind in that one too.
Yeah, that's the quote that's in my head right now. The Herb Brooks quote and of course, we came from behind to win the game.
Oh yeah.
Gensel's wrist shot gobbled up there by Binnington, who will hang on. Shots are even at 4 as we approach our first commercial break. It's 1-0 Canada, thanks to a Nathan McKinnon goal. And there's a lot of red in the stands there, Tanner. Canada.
Yeah, I mean, so far this tourney, or whatever they want to call it, Hellebuck's U.S. gives up the first goal, right? Hellebuck's been giving up the first goal. Has it happened in the first period each time against them?
I think so. Now that I'm looking back on it, yeah, I think because the first goal was the only bad goal that he's given up. He's only given up 3, but that was the only kind of iffy one that he had given up. And then the McDavid rush, all 3.
So we're in for 2 scoreless from Canada now.
Yeah, I think so.
Plus whatever change we got left here.
Correct. Now, I don't know how much stock I want to put into USA being held to only 1 goal against Sweden, just because of the fact that obviously they were missing Matthew the whole game. They were missing Brady for a majority of it. Charlie McAvoy was not there for it either. Hellebuck not in net, even though Ottinger did play quite well.
Wasn't Matthews out too?
Matthews was out too. Yeah. So I don't know how much stock I want to put into the lack of scoring in that hockey game. However, I do think it's going to be important for USA to try to get one as early as possible, just to kind of eliminate that little thing in the back of your head that's saying, oh boy, we're on 3 straight periods now, almost 4, because you scored a minute into the game of nothing.
Oh, absolutely. And I think what they need to do is like not expect any sort of power play. Like, this is playoff game atmosphere to the max. Not. So they need to get one 5-on-5. Like, I mean, I feel like in that Canada game too, it's not the first line, it's not the second line, it was that fourth line that was flying. Maybe D-Boss can get another one.
Tanner, guess how many power plays Canada has had in this entire tournament?
In the whole tournament, maybe like 9?
3.
3, okay.
3. 3 games. That's crazy to me. And they've only had 3 penalty kills in 3 games also.
Yeah.
The U.S.
Well, they had the power play against the U.S. after that third fight, but there was nothing else after that.
Yeah. No, that is it. And then
Yeah.
U.S. has had 8 power plays. They've scored on 2 of them, so they're rocking at 25%. But Canada, or the PK for the U.S., they've had 7. So they're getting power plays and PKs more often than not. But Canada really isn't getting anything. And even in their home barn, I thought in their home barn, they were going to be fed power plays all day long, especially after they started out against Sweden with the power play and was electric. Back to the play. Hughes enters the zone, tries to drop that one off towards the middle for Gensel. That was gummed up in the slot, and Canada comes back the other way. Offsides was McDavid. It's like the guy doesn't know the rules or something. Here's Gensel cutting towards the middle, shooting one. That one was chopped up off the glass. Harley up the wall for Connor McDavid. He's bodied there in the neutral zone by JT Miller, who will look up ahead. Gets deflected into Canada's zone. Boldy spinning away from a check, wrapping it around the wall. Pinching down, trying to keep that alive is Faber. Back to Miller behind. He'll cycle it. Eichel. Back to the point. Faber's one-time shot sails wide. Back to Miller up top for Faber. His wrist shot deflects off of a leg and in behind. Binnington didn't see that one very well. Good pressure there from U.S. First good pressure since the opening couple shifts.
Yeah. And, it's crazy because Brock Faber being out there, being a part of it, I think he's second youngest player in the tournament because I think youngest was Leo Carlson.
Yeah. Yeah, certainly a big event to be thrown into at such a young age, and especially guys, like Brady Tkachuk, who's never even played in a playoff game before. You know, this is going to give him just that little itty bitty taste of, for lack of a better word, important hockey.
Yeah, which is funny because this isn't important at all.
Right. It's not supposed to be important. This was never supposed to be something where it was, I will, die on this ice before losing, but it's turned into that.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of crazy.
It's everything and more that the NHL had hoped for.
Yeah.
By far.
Absolutely. Jerem, the jersey hanging up behind me, that's actually my brother, Trev. That is his Western Michigan jersey that's hanging up there. So it's so large I can use it as a blanket if I wanted to. U.S. coming out of their own end. They'll dump it into Canada's zone. Binnington out to stop it. That's one of the strongest aspects of Binnington's game is his puck play. So if the U.S. is going to dump it in, you want to throw it off the glass or put it into an open corner where he can't get to it.
I think his weakest part of his game is, being a head case. So maybe they start getting in his face.
Yeah, I think so. He's probably going to try to keep his cool as much as possible in this game. Good stop there from Hellebuck and a long shot from the blue line. Pass up ahead intended for Trocheck was read and intercepted. Canada will toss it right back into the U.S. zone. Crosby there will go out to the point. Harley for McKinnon. Doughty chipping in. Big save. Rebound. Hellebuck able to keep the pad down right in the slot. They hack and whack at it. Finally, he's able to get a glove on it. Hellebuck just strong with that lower body. Extended the right leg and had maybe 3 or 4 stops there.
Uh-oh. Braden Holtby vibes? 2017?
Yeah, no kidding. What
Huge.
A job there from Hellebuck, though, just to stay kind of calm, cool, and collected and not panic. Hellebuck has won 8 8 straight games coming into this hockey game, going back to his time in Winnipeg.
It's not too bad.
Not too bad. I don't think he's lost since the 20th, I think.
It's like, jeez, he's having an incredible year.
Just ridiculous. And he's already got 2 Vezinas under his belt, 2020 and 2024.
Mm-hmm.
He's on his way to another one unless something drastic happens. I was talking about it before you came on, Tanner. Hellebuck has gotten some flack recently just about, not being able to show up for the big games, or, when it's time to, make that big save, he just can't do it in the playoffs. I'm looking at his numbers in the playoffs. Obviously, an 18-27 record is nothing phenomenal. He's only made it to the conference final once, but a 285 goals against and a 911 save percentage in, I think he's been in the playoffs 5 years, with 3 shutouts mixed in. That's not bad to me.
No, that's good regular season numbers.
Yeah.
But like in the playoffs, like your goalie needs to be like 925 save percentage.
That's a good point. Now, I know for sure last year when they went up against Colorado, he came out and even said in the media, he was like, if you put a list together of all the goals that have been scored against me, I will go through that list and tell you each and every single one, I haven't been able to see the puck. Not once. They are throwing so many bodies to the net, I can't locate it, which is exactly how McKinnon scored that very first goal in today's game. So that's something to keep an eye on for Hellebuck. Might be something of an Achilles heel for him, is trying to battle through screens, something that we saw Andrei Vasilevsky have some issues with over the years in the playoffs.
Yep. And it's crazy because he's like 6'6" as well. So he sees over a lot of guys out there.
Yeah, that's a big dude. 6'4", 207. That's a big boy.
Even the way like McKinnon, like before he even takes this shot, like his head's up, not even looking at the net. So like even the defenders have no idea that a shot's coming. So he catches everybody off guard.
Yeah. Catches them all by surprise.
And I mean, when you're that good too, like the puck finds ways to go in for you.
Yeah. We are just about ready to come back from commercial break. Before I forget, and they're actually working on the glass a little bit too, making sure that that's safe. We're going to try to do this as much as we possibly can throughout the season, doing these watch-alongs, especially when the Hawks end up coming back. So we'll try to do it as much as we can. But if you like what you're seeing here, if you're having fun with it, give us a follow here on our YouTube page. Find us on Instagram and all that good stuff. Twitter. I don't know. Is Vine still a thing anymore? I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, I got grapevines in my my fridge.
I had a couple really good ones, and I'm upset that Vine is no longer a thing, because I had some sweet ones. I had some good ones. I could have had a future somewhere. I think
the good old days.
The good old days of Vine.
The short form video content when it wasn't all about advertisements and being an influencer. It was about pushing out dumb stuff.
Exactly.
Man, oh man, Sidney Crosby, huh? What a player! Still got it.
And I was thinking about it earlier today. The goal that he scored, he's only got 1 goal in this tournament, and it was the empty netter against Sweden, or I'm sorry, Finland. Is that not the epitome of Sidney Crosby? He stood the guy up at the blue line. They both went falling to the ice, and then he picks the puck up and doesn't even have it fully on his stick and just tosses it towards the net. Yeah. Defense leads to offense. That is, Sidney Crosby is just the full package, is he not?
Yeah, and I mean, even just the situation that it was in too, because Finland had just came like rushing back and putting 2 in. They're down by 1 now, and I'm sure everybody's freaking out. And then, of course, Sid just ices it. You're just like, damn it. Why is he still so, like...
I know. Just so good all the time. He's got the puck there and backhands it through center ice. Back in his own end, Brock Faber will set things up, leave it off for Werenski. Both teams getting some line changes. Jack Eichel, who might be one of the top players for the U.S., maybe not from a goal scoring standpoint, but he's got 4 points on the season, on the tournament. Sent into the Canada zone. Once again, Binnington out to stop it. Picked up there by Devin Taves. Up ahead for Point. He'll chip and chase. Wrapped around the wall. McDavid is there to pick it up. Point helps out. Out to the blue line. D they go. Devin Taves up top for Point. Looking for a pinching in Cale Makar, but he had that one in his feet. Couldn't really corral it. And the US will come back out to center. Stopped up at the blue line, though, and here comes Canada. McDavid has Point going the net, drops it off. There's Makar, the wrist shot. Good block. I believe that's Werenski getting a leg on it. Parayko settles it down in the neutral zone. Up ahead. Nice shifty move there from Marner. Pulling up. We'll drop it off. There's a wrister. That one goes up off the glass. Picked up by Boldy. Up ahead. Here's a wrist shot from Larkin. Good stop there by Binnington. The rebound bounced off of Binnington and just through the crease. Tried to bank it in from in behind the net. Up at the point, a wrist shot. Gets blocked by Marner. He'll flip it up ahead for Hagel. 2-on-2 with Cirelli. Now up into the plate is Sanheim. His pass goes awry, and the U.S. will take over. Chipped into Canada's zone, and they were short of center when doing so. Icing on USA with 6:54 left to play in the first. Dylan Larkin.
Yeah.
Looking for another.
So I'm saying, D-Boss. Thought he was going to be the one to give it to us.
Yep. Had 1 goal against Canada on Saturday. Had a goal and an assist in that game. And those are actually both of the points that he has in the tournament overall. Marchand will pick this up off the draw on the far side, come out to the point with it. Wrist shot gets floated in behind. They try to wrap it around the net out to the slot. Nobody home. Cleared out of there by the U.S. Marchand retrieves in his own end. Harley will one-hand it through the neutral zone. Bennett dumps it in. Bennett after it here in behind the net. Walking out in front. Good stop by Hellebuck. He's down on his belly. They're trying to find it in the crease. I would say I'm listening for a whistle, but I got the sound off.
I know. It's happened to me a few times. So I'm like, oh, like it looks like it should have been blown dead.
Yeah.
And the play
Why
is
aren't they blowing
continuing.
the whistle yet? But once again, a scramble in front of U.S. net, and Connor Hellebuck has had to stand tall. That left pad is just solid on the ice. Connor Hellebuck. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, maybe even a 4th stop in tight.
God, he's terrifying the way he's staring at the ref.
I know. Unblinking. Remember when Nikolai Hobby-Bolin, his eyes would just...
Oh, yeah. Well, also his head would twitch.
Yeah.
He's a little... It's kind of like a Reinhardt in the playoffs.
Yeah. He might have had a little extra sauce in the water bottle.
Yeah,
Mr.
maybe.
Nikolai. I love him, though.
Stanley
There's
Cup
McKinnon
champion.
over the line. Shot it in behind the net. Picked up Werenski. Overskated the puck. Canada will control once more. Finally picked up by the U.S. And they'll flip it through the neutral zone. Slightly sloppy here from the U.S., Tanner.
Yeah, and you know what I keep thinking is like this team could use a fight.
This team could usually they could really have somebody drop the gloves and start pounding on somebody.
Just a good jolt of energy.
Yeah, I'm wondering what the jolt is going to end up being, because you can only play with fire for so long here against Canada. This offensive juggernaut that Canada is. They've got to start getting something moving here in order to not fall too far behind in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I was like remembering what exactly led to that Dylan Larkin chance, because I mean, I know he's speedy, and if it was just like his speed getting past the D, maybe it's get Dylan Larkin on one of those lines. Because honestly, Jack Hughes has not looked great.
He's looked to me like he's just a step behind everything, which is interesting because he is also one of the better players, better American players out there. So I thought that he was going to be a little bit more of a factor than he's been. And it's not like he's been terrible. I mean, he's only got 1 point in the tournament, but he's putting pucks on net. He had 2 shots against Canada the last time that these two teams met.
Yeah, but the things that don't show up on the score sheet, he's missing. I feel like he's missing a lot of passes, fumbling a lot of pucks. Yeah, it just leads sometimes to like breaking up the play, and now they're back like trying to play defense, and just hasn't looked great. Though I know he's super good. Like I don't know if there's something wrong or just like not feeling it, too nervous.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, he's on a line now with Jake Gensel and Austin Matthews in today's game. So if there's going to be any time for him to be able to generate some chances, it's going to be playing with those two guys. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. And Gensel's looked good this tourney.
Yeah, Gensel's been great. Leads Team USA in goals. He's got 3 of them, 2 of them against Canada.
And I mean, even though Matthews hasn't been too much points wise statistically or anything, he's looked great defensively.
Yeah. Yeah, Matthews, I made sure to write down faceoffs because I feel like the centers in this game on both sides are all so good at winning faceoffs. So it has to almost be a 50-50 draw every single time, right? Nobody really ever has the upper hand, except when it comes to Austin Matthews. He's got almost 63%.
There's another one.
Yeah, put another one up on the board for Austin Matthews. Just kind of crazy how well he's doing in the circle. Out to the point, wrist shot, glove down by Binnington. He'll hang on to that as Matthew Tkachuk finds his way into the blue paint, just to ruffle the feathers a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. One of the or both Tkachuks just end up, getting in his grill.
Yeah,
I think that's what it's got to be. Get pucks on net and crash the net, getting pissed.
I don't disagree with you. I would start putting some snow on Binnington. Start getting in his grill a little bit. Maybe draw a penalty. Yeah, I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
I think a power play could certainly do wonders for the USA group. That's for sure. Matthews has it behind his own net. We'll look up ahead. Brady Tkachuk was wrapped up with one of the Canadian players. U.S. will dump it in. Binnington plays it around. Parayko out to the blue line, held in by the U.S. Matthew Tkachuk tosses it on goal. This time Binnington will just hang on to it. I'm looking right now, Tanner, just going back to Jack Hughes. He's got 1 year where the Devils made it to the playoffs back in 22-23. 12 games, 11 points, 6 goals, 5 assists. So not a bad showing in the playoffs, almost a point per game for Jack Hughes. So it's not one of those things like we were talking about before where it might just be he's never been in this kind of situation where the stakes are as high as they are. So he's definitely been in that kind of mentality. So I wonder if it is something a little bit more of he might be a little banged up or,
you like also like who are those goals coming against on the ice, right? Like, is it being advantageous where, if it's at home and they're getting, the last change and they're putting them out there against third, fourth line guys and they're like capitalizing on those opportunities.
Third line for Canada, Brandon Hagel, Anthony Cirelli, and Mitch Marner. So there is no third line here. There is 4 first lines on both teams, which is kind of wild.
Yeah.
4.5.
Any one of these lines could easily be the first line on pretty much every team in the NHL.
Absolutely. Gets floated in on net. Binnington will cover, so another offensive zone draw here for the U.S. So being a mostly Blackhawks Central podcast here, Connor Bedard is obviously not part of Team Canada. Some people think he should have been. Some people think he's probably too young, too inexperienced to be on a team like this. What are your thoughts, Tanner?
I'm kind of glad he's not there because of how physical it's been and like how intense it's been.
Yeah.
I think skill wise he could easily be there. But the other thing is I'm glad that he's not there for is now he's going to get even more hungry and show that he should be in places like this, and having this right before the Olympics, and next year I'm sure he wants to be there, like, and he's going to do everything he can to be there.
Just a quote that he had from practice the other day where it was, this is some of the greatest hockey I've ever seen. You could tell that he is hungry. Yeah. I'm excited for that first game back for the Hawks. I feel like he's going to have a little extra jump in his step. I would say, it's nice that he had a little time off. I don't know if he actually took any time off. Knowing Connor Bedard, he probably didn't.
He's probably in Boston right now cheering on Canada.
Skating like he's actually in the game.
Like that old kid from Calgary that would dress up like Kiprasov. He's just in the stands.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh my God, that would be hilarious.
He's got his Crosby jersey on. Just
nobody notices him because he's got the bucket on with like a tinted visor.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Binnington gets taken out behind his own net. There's a wrist shot that gets sent wide.
Was he trying to draw a penalty, or he's like?
Yeah. I think that was a little Mike Smithian.
Yeah, I think the rest are like, come on, this isn't soccer.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We got a high sticking call.
Oh.
I don't think it's a penalty. I think it was just knocked down with a high stick. Let's take a look at what's happening with Binnington here. Or not. That's fine too. I thought there it is. All right, yeah, just a little hey, how are you from Brock Nelson, Grandpa Nelson, giving him a little shove in the skates. Nothing that should end up being a penalty, and he definitely pushed it a little bit. Try to get the call. Refs weren't biting. Wrap around attempt out in front. They score!
Whoa.
Brady Tkachuk, baby! Just a simple wraparound attempt found its way to the slot, and Brady Tkachuk picking up the garbage.
You think the Boston fans are like okay with cheering on this Tkachuk for right now?
I think so. As long as it's Brady, we don't dislike Brady that much.
Austin Matthews, first point of the tournament, or does he have a point yet?
Austin Matthews, he does have 1 point.
Okay.
He's got an assist, so that's his second assist. But Brady, with his third goal of the tournament, he just kind of pitchforked that thing towards the net. He really didn't want to do much with it except just kind of force it towards the goal.
I think just right then, the slow-mo of him screaming where his helmet's doing this like weird jiggle thing on his baby forehead.
Yeah. His baby forehead.
He's got the baby fat on his forehead still. I don't know if
he absolutely does.
But that's like such a U.S. goal in this game. Like Canada's got like the seeing eye shot skill goal, and then USA's like, we're just gonna beat it down your throat.
Yeah.
But that's huge to get that before the period ended.
Yep, final 5 minutes. If any goals within the last 5 minutes of the period are huge and can be momentum shifters. Yeah, good job by Matthews behind the net to win that board battle against Cale Makar. And is there anywhere else that Brady Tkachuk is going to be except for right on top of the crease?
Honestly, out of anybody that, like, if the Hawks could make a big trade, Brady Tkachuk would be massive for the Hawks.
That would be a huge get, that's for sure. Somebody who's got the passion, phenomenal on both sides of the puck. That's certainly the person that the Hawks are talking about as building around with Connor Bedard. McKinnon, bad angle shot that gets shrugged aside by Hellebuck. Now the trick here is don't give one up here in the last 2 minutes. Puck is loose out in the slot, cleared away, and out of trouble. Turning back into Canada zone. Pass out in front from Boldy, taken away and dumped right back in.
You see, on like that dump in there, I think that's what they got to do is like get as close as they can to the blue line and then get it into the corner where Bennington can't do anything about it.
Correct. I would absolutely agree with you on that. Hellebuck will move this along. Sent out to the blue line and bouncing out to center ice. Canada will take over once more and transition back into the U.S. zone. Point was stopped at the tops of the circles, cleared out by U.S. Sanheim up ahead for Point. He was stepped up on. McDavid takes over. Not a lot of room out there for either team to move. Slavin behind his own goal will move on out to Tkachuk. Brady Tkachuk will dump it in. Good hit on Thomas Harley behind the net. That gets the crowd into it. Chipped in by Matthews. After it there is Doughty. He gets hit by Gensel in the corner. Hughes loses an edge, coughs up the puck, but gets right in the lane, that passing lane, to deny a possible 2-on-1 chance. He screwed up there, but he was able to make up for it. Gensel carries on for U.S. as they settle things back down in their own zone. 10 seconds left to go on the clock. It's chipped into Canada's zone. After it, there is Eichel trying to beat out Taves in behind the net and force it towards the goal. Stays below the goal line. Werenski there right out in front through the crease, and that will end the first period of play where we are tied at 1. Shots are even, 10-10. I have a feeling that this game is going longer than 3 periods, Tanner.
Yeah.
It's
gonna be 0-0 from here on out, I think.
Yep. I think so. All right. I think we are going to step aside. It is dinner time for Papa Potes. And maybe time for the dogs to go OUT. We will step aside for intermission and be back in about, 16 minutes or so? 17 minutes? 1-1 through 1. See you in a hot minute, Tanner.
See you, bud.
All right, folks. Period number 2 just about to get underway. We are tied at 1 through 1. Scoring opened with Nathan McKinnon, just a seeing eye shot from the point that went through about 4 or 5 different bodies before finding a way up over Hellebuck's shoulder. Made it 1-0 Canada. And just before the period ended, 3 minutes left to go on the clock. Brady Tkachuk right on the front door, able to bat home an Austin Matthews feed to tie this game up at 1. And like we said before we went to intermission, this is as even can get. Actually, they added a shot for Canada, so it's 11-10 in favor of Canada, in favor of shots. But Tanner, first I would say 5 minutes, USA.
Yeah.
The next 10 minutes, pretty much all Canada, and then last 5 minutes or so, USA turned the heat back on again.
Yeah, I mean, I'd agree.
Second period is going to be interesting. These are two obviously very quick moving hockey teams. The long change in the second period is something that I'm always intrigued by in games that are as high speed and fast paced as this.
Yeah, I think you'll see a lot more short shifts so the guys don't get caught out there, and stuck.
Yeah. The intermission card, yes, has certainly gotten updated. Thank you, Jerem. I got more points on the intermission card from the last time that I did this than pretty much anything else. So I talked to Jeremy. I was like, this needs to get updated, because even my mother-in-law was like, "What are you doing using that intermission card?"
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. All right, I'll change it. Fine. And then I didn't do anything. Jeremy did it all. So thanks, Jeremy. You're the best, buddy.
Was there any surprises for you for that first period?
I don't know if I would say surprises. I knew McKinnon was going to want to get up and take charge at some point. So I'm not surprised that he got the first goal of the game. I guess I'm a little surprised with how little room there is for USA specifically to really get much done. A lot of their offensive chances are one and done.
That is true.
And that needs to change. They've had maybe 1 or 2 shifts where they were able to hold control in the zone for a little bit. So I think that needs to change for sure to start putting some pressure back on Canada. We are back for the second period of play. USA has trailed every single game that they've played in and have not given up a goal in the second or third period. Or excuse me, in the second period. They have given up a goal in the third against Finland. They did.
Oh, but not with Hellebuck in net.
Not with Hellebuck in net. Correct. Below the goal line, Stone able to wrap it up the wall. Gets it right back in the corner. Goes back to Makar walking to the slot. His wrist shot gets blocked to the corner. Held in at the point. Taves. D-to-D for Makar. In front for Stone. Couldn't get anything on the wrister. Was all alone in the high slot, and he muffed it. Gensel pressuring at the blue line. Pushes it out to the neutral zone. Couple cross checks being given there back and forth. Picked up now by McDavid. He'll whistle his way into the U.S. zone. Throw one towards the goal. Floats wide. Point will take over and cycle it down. Nobody home there for Canada. Only Brock Faber for the U.S. And it's flipped out to center ice. I don't know if you noticed it, Tanner, but the last dumping that the U.S. had, Austin Matthews went chasing behind the net. His skates collided with Binnington. Binnington went down once again. A little accidental on purpose, I think.
I think they're just trying to recreate the magic of last time they took him out.
I think so. Dumped into the U.S. zone. Hellebuck had a little trouble behind his own net trying to play that puck. JT Miller, blind backhand pass right to Sidney Crosby. Don't want to see that. Thank goodness Crosby caught that kind of off balance a little bit. either a puck or a stick came up and clipped one of the U.S. players. We get a whistle stopping play. That's JT Miller who went down. I didn't catch what caught him up high. Tanner, did you?
No, but he was holding his arm up a little bit, so it looks like he was more of just like a upper body thing and not like a stick to the head. I think it just his legs went out from underneath him and he maybe landed awkward.
Well, Canada for sure was upset that the whistle was called, so they certainly did not think that.
Never mind.
Yeah,
straight up stick to the face.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he got tomahawked right in the mouth. No penalty on the play though. Wrapped around the wall. Bennett backhands it towards the net, floats in behind. Fox is after it there. He'll poke it up the wall, and Brady Tkachuk will start moving out to center ice. Brady with Matthews, excuse me. Matthews in the corner. Gets checked there by Parayko. Now Matthew Tkachuk in front for Brady. Bounces around off of Sanheim in front into Binnington, who has to spin and grab that. Matthew Tkachuk just throwing the puck towards the front of the net, hoping for any kind of bounce.
I just like the Brady, like subtle, gets his skate on Bennington's stick as he's like there.
It's just the tiny little things that just nag over time, and it's going to break somebody eventually. Oof. 17-10 to go in the second. We're tied at 1.
I'm really hoping that line can keep it up. Maybe Matthews gets on the board with a big one.
Yep, that would be fantastic. Dumped into the U.S. zone, wrapped around the wall. Werenski is there. Taken away by Boldy. He'll dump it in.
There we go. Nice and hard around the back.
Yep. Gensel picked it up. Could not get anything set up, however, in the offensive zone. Chipped right back by Canada. Puck free. Stone on the side. Stop made there by Hellebuck. Puck pops in behind. Makar to Stone. Will drop it off to Taves. His wrist shot. Tip. Good save. Hellebuck. Rebound just bounces wide. First stop was great. The second attempt just missed on the near post. McDavid will dump it right back. Sanderson will get it to the neutral zone. That's about as far as he's able to get it. Back up ahead. Dropped off Cirelli to Hagel. Back door. Nobody home. Doughty slap shot. Gets blocked out to center ice and sent back into Canada's territory. Thomas Harley goes D-to-D with Drew Doughty. Talk about getting thrown in the fire for Drew Doughty. Misses a majority of the season and gets thrown into the Four Nations Cup as a replacement defenseman for Alex Pietrangelo.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, like, even though he gets thrown in and then they end up bringing Thomas Harley in. Harley's like third on in their D in time on ice right now.
Yeah. U.S. has it in their own end. Will go up the wall. It's Hughes. He'll start moving through the neutral zone. Dropped it off to Miller. Hughes back in behind the net. For Miller, back on the ice after taking a stick to the mouth. To the point. Long slap shot stopped by Binnington. Rebound at the side. Hughes couldn't get anything on it. It's in between Binnington's legs. Cleared out to the corner boards. Pinching down is Fox to keep the play alive. Sent up and out of play. Deflected off the glass, so we're going to get no penalty. U.S. with a great opportunity just then.
Almost had some Jack Hughes redemption there.
Yeah.
For getting smoked along the boards.
Braden Point just missed on that rebound attempt. Oh, good stop there by Binnington. Fully outstretched to his left. He didn't realize where the rebound had gone either. U.S. keeps it alive. Backhand pass for Matthew Tkachuk was just a little out of his reach. He's still able to get the puck back and bounce it through the slot. Taken by Canada and out to center. Given away, Marchand in over the line, trying to cut towards the middle. He's cut off there. Brady on the back check will take the puck back and settle things down by bringing it back to Sanderson. Werenski off the glass, out to the neutral zone. Brady Tkachuk pushing it forward. He and Makar start getting into it. Now we've got a little pushing and shoving as Taves gets in there. Taves and Brady Tkachuk are together. And a little line mixing up going on for Team USA as they started out the game with Gensel, Matthews, and Hughes. Started the second with Tkachuk, Matthews, and Tkachuk. And now it was just Tkachuk, Matthews, and Boldy.
It was Brady with them?
Brady,
not Matthew.
Brady, Matthews,
Yeah,
and Boldy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that worries me a bit if Matthew Tkachuk maybe aggravated.
Not feeling as great as he probably thought, maybe. Or maybe it's just asset management a little bit. Not trying to overdo it, maybe saving a little bit for the third period for Matthew. Who knows?
I mean, they're sitting all next to each other on the bench right now, so maybe it's just getting a different look too.
Yep. Your wash is done.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I love it. Dumped into Canada's zone. Harley will move it over to Doughty. He'll chip it out to center ice. Turned right back by Gensel. And offsides on USA is now Gensel and Harley going after it.
If Gensel drops the gloves.
We're starting to get a little nasty, Tanner.
Right where USA needs it to be.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm not sure that Canada wants to steer into the skid that way. I feel like that got them off their game last time.
Oh, yeah. It's like the grittiness that like Tortorella has always wanted out of a team like in Team USA. Like this team has that, but like plenty of skill now too. So like I'm sure this team just gives them a hard on all the time.
I would agree. I don't know. I don't want the U.S. kind of getting ahead of themselves and trying to pick fights every chance that they could possibly get and get goaded into taking penalties against this Canada power play. First power play unit for Canada. Crosby, McKinnon, Makar, McDavid, and Sam Reinhart.
I mean, on the Hawks, that's like power play line 2.
That's this number 1. That's power play unit number 1.
No. I'm saying if they were on the Hawks, that would just be power play line 2. It's nothing.
Well,
crazy.
yeah, no. I mean, they're lucky to see the ice if they're on the Hawks.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
Call that what it is. None of them are Seth Jones. Come on.
That's right.
Come on now. But I mean, a power play where you see Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon, and Connor McDavid all on the same unit.
Yeah.
It's almost too much.
That's like close to like 3,500 points in the NHL right now.
I mean, it's just insane. It's absolutely insane.
And then Makar, which is like what modern day Bobby Orr.
Yeah. Stanley Cup winner, no big deal.
Who else is out there? Reinhart?
Yeah, Sam Reinhart.
You could put anybody out there.
Yeah.
Does not matter. And then they get like a 60 goal scorer.
Correct.
What do you have? He had like 58 last year or something, 56?
I thought he hit 60, did he not?
Is that what it was? I wanted to say that, but like
I thought he
didn't
did.
get enough
I
credit.
could be wrong. Hang on, let me take a look. Sam Reinhart. So he's got 31 this year in 57. So he's hitting 50 again.
57.
In 57 games, yeah.
No, 57.
He did score 57. Yeah, 57. So he's getting in the 50s again this year, though. I mean,
Yeah.
just the way that he's going, 31 goals in 57 games. He's hitting it.
Man.
All right, we're back to it after the commercial break.
Imagine if the Sabres still had a guy like that.
Oh my God, they've got to be absolutely kicking themselves here. Look out here, Hellebuck. Nice job evading McDavid. Picked up by Slavin. He'll come up the wall with it and out to center ice. This one will go all the way down for an icing. Yeah, poor Buffalo.
3 ex-Buffalo players in the lineup tonight.
Yeah, just the amount of talent that's gone through there and been traded away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, Ryan O'Reilly.
Yep.
Also part of that list, not part of Team Canada here, but I mean, just there's a lot of talent that went through Buffalo that is no longer there anymore.
Jack Eichel.
Yeah. I mean,
I think the funniest one to me is Brandon Hagel. Never even got the shot. He was drafted 6th round. 6th round for the Sabres.
Oh my
Never got
Lord.
the shot, signed with the Hawks.
Oh, yeah. That's tough to see. That's tough to see for sure.
Yeah.
Into the U.S. zone. Here's McKinnon pulling up at the far circle. Up ahead for McCarr, tossing it towards the net. Sliding down to block the backdoor feed was Slavin. Picked up now by Matt Boldy through the neutral zone. He'll dump it in, get off for a line change. Parayko and Brady Tkachuk go barreling in behind the net. Matthews there. Pulled out to the blue line. Werenski, his wrist shot, save made. Rebound, Matthews on the backhand. Looking backdoor for Brady Tkachuk. Rebound, they score! Found its way to Jake Sanderson in the slot.
Jake the Snake.
And the unit of Tkachuk and Matthews strikes again.
God, feels good.
Good first save there. Second stop goes right out into the slot, and Sanderson just uncovered.
Is that Tkachuk's goal still? Did it go off of him?
Let's see. I don't think so. From that angle I just saw, I don't think so.
It looked like it hit somebody.
It might have hit one of the Canada skates on the way through.
Parayko, maybe?
Potentially, but in any case, U.S. has taken a 2-1 lead thanks to Jake Sanderson. His first point of the tourney. What a time to get it.
I think with that, I think I'm okay with Quinn Hughes not being allowed to play since Jake Sanderson got on the board.
Everybody's sitting there saying, Jake Sanderson, you're out, man. You got a target on your back. You better get hurt. Guy comes in and has the current game-winning goal. Canada looking to answer back in the U.S. zone. That's Harley will wrap it around. Doughty chipping in. Gets it taken away by Hughes. And he'll settle things down. Zach Werenski looking up ahead. Pass was batted down at the Canada blue line. Bounces around in the neutral zone, thrown right back in by U.S. After it there is Trocheck. He and Doughty go barreling in behind. Reinhardt helps out, taken away by U.S. again on the forecheck. Bennett taken down by the stick of Trocheck, and we're going to get a power play here from Canada. First attempt of the game for Team Canada. Canada was 0 for 2 against the U.S. in the first time that they met, but is 1 for 3 in the tournament. That's the other thing, Tanner. They had 2 power plays against the U.S.
Yeah.
Only 1 in the other 3 games that they played, or 2 games that they played.
Well, the referees probably determined it would be extremely unfair to Finland and Sweden.
After watching that first one, yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it? They had a power play like immediately against Sweden, or like in the first period, and it was like bing, bing,
Yep.
bing, bing in, and it was like,
It was
okay, we
just
can't,
disgusting. Yeah,
don't let that happen.
we got to put a stop to this. Good start here for U.S. as they send it the length right off the draw. McDavid will start through the neutral zone. He'll drop it off and catch his own pass. Wrap it around the wall. Reinhart is there. Up top, McCarr will walk towards the middle of the ice. He'll hit McKinnon on the far side. Back up top, McCarr. His wrist shot never made it through. Deflects up and out of play. 1:27 to go on the Canada power play. 10:30 in the period.
I think this penalty kill is just Faber and Slavin and Hellebuck is massive.
Yep. And up top, I'm pretty sure I saw JT Miller. They're going to throw their second unit out there.
What is that, Eichel and Nelson?
Eichel and Nelson, wrist shot from the point. Broke Eichel's stick, so it's basically a 5-on-3 now for Canada. Still the top unit out there for the Canadians.
Are you allowed to move a broken stick out of the way?
I don't think so, but that's what happened. Cross-ice pass went off of Eichel without a stick. Eichel got in the lane, and it's cleared out by the U.S.
They just give that one to Crosby because it's Crosby? Because, yeah, I didn't think you could do that.
All right, McKinnon with a head full of steam, cutting in over the blue line, dropping it off. McKinnon will curl, pulling up. He's got McCarr up top. Back to McKinnon at the circles, walking and shooting one. Saved by Hellebuck. Rebound out in front, and Reinhart had that in his skates. Couldn't get a shot on net. McKinnon once more. To McCarr, dropping it off. McDavid down low for Reinhart. They try to get the pass out in the slot. It was well covered. McDavid on the near side, looking to go down low. Intercepted. And Miller at the end of a shift coming back the other way, 2-on-1. Cross-ice pass. Wrist shot from Larkin was stopped by Binnington. Larkin back after it. A turnaround shot. Goes up off the crossbar, it looked like, and out of play. Binnington wasn't really 100% sure where that puck had gone.
Like every shot.
What else is new? Yeah, Eichel. Oh, my goodness. Unbelievable play, Jack Eichel. Lost his stick and was still able to get in the lane and take that pass away. And then on the 2-on-1, first stop from Binnington. Oh, I wanted to see that turnaround shot and see if it actually hit the net or if he just sailed it.
If D-Boss was able to handle that pass a little bit cleaner, that might have been another one.
It might have been a one-timer. He had to settle it down.
Yeah.
Penalty is over. Both teams back at full strength. Great penalty kill by the U.S., but not without some high dangerous chances from Team Canada. As we get another icing call on the U.S. Tanner, I'm going to step aside for 2 seconds.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, I'm back.
Perfect. Yeah, nothing's happened. Still getting ready for a face-off.
Face-off to the left of Hellebuck. Got Eichel on the draw against, looks like maybe Sorelli.
I think it might be Point.
Yep, Braden Point. Off the draw, sent out to the blue line. Bounces off of Parayko and back the other way. Come to U.S. Wrist shot from Trocheck goes right into the chest of Binnington and stopping on the net. Brady Tkachuk has a bunch of red jerseys around him.
Just a menace. I love it.
Any chance to get to the top of the crease, and he is going to be there. U.S. up 2-1 as we head to another commercial break. While we have the time, if you guys are enjoying Shameless plug, Tanner. Come on.
Hey, every time you start it up, I'm like, I know what's coming because I keep forgetting about it.
That's all right. Shameless plug here. If you guys like what you're seeing, we're going to try to do this as often as we can with the Blackhawks starting back up here soon. But if you like what you see, if you're having fun, like the video, subscribe to our channel, to our YouTube, to our Twitter, to our Instagram, our LinkedIn, all that good stuff. We're fun people to be around, and we're having fun doing this.
Oh,
That's for sure.
absolutely.
At least I am. I can't speak for you.
I love talking hockey. I could talk about it all day. I can sleep and talk about it. I get my son to talk about it. Yeah. Yeah, my son, he's chanting USA already.
Oh, I love it.
A quick story because it's commercial time.
Uh-huh.
But we were at a pizza place recently, and they had like a little game section with like big buck hunter, golf, claw machine, and then they had the little bubble hockey, and it was Canada USA, and this little man walks up and just goes, USA, USA. And I was just like pumping my fist. Like, let's go.
Yes, you get it.
2.5 yelling USA in a pizza place.
He gets it, man. He understands. That's the important part.
It's ingrained in him now.
Little nugget that I did not notice until I was going through my my group chats. Beginning of the game, Mike Ruzioni came out on the ice. Did you catch that at all?
No, I honestly got the game on right before puck drop.
Okay. So Ruzioni came onto the ice. He was wearing a USA jersey. I just thought it was a USA jersey, his own. It was the Johnny Gaudreau Team USA jersey.
Nice.
So talk about a poignant moment right there of making sure that Gaudreau is still part of this hockey game, because there's no shot that he would not have been on this team.
Oh, absolutely. I would love. I don't know if they're selling those jerseys, but if they were selling a Gaudreau one, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Possible 2-on-1 here for Canada as Marchand comes in. Good stick there from Austin Matthews. Able to deflect that up and out of play. And then he gets right into Marchand's grill as we get a little kerfuffle along the boards. Thank you. Appreciate that. Right in the middle of it is Brady Tkachuk, but Austin Matthews, he knew exactly what Marchand was going to start doing. Got right in his grill.
Looks like Larkin was out there with Brady and Matthews.
Matthews has seen enough of Marchand in these types of situations to make sure he's all tied up.
Man. I know we were talking about like Binnington having a big game 7 here in this arena like a while ago, but I like to also think about how on the flip side of that coin, Marchand, big failure, game 7, same building.
Well, hey, Austin Matthews, big failure, game 7 in this building. I mean,
2 years ago, Marchand, big failure, game 7, this building.
Yeah. Matthew Tkachuk loves game 7 in this building.
Exactly.
Crosby in behind, throws it out to the blue line. McKinnon has it here. His wrist shot save made wide open net. Oh, what a stop there by Hellebuck. Did he get that with the paddle? Crosby had a wide open net and was denied. How did that not go?
Did that hit post or did that hit paddle?
Long feed pass for Stone offside.
Yeah,
I got to look at that.
If we had the audio on, we could probably tell right away.
Unbelievable. Oh, it was swiped away by Jacob Slavin.
Huge.
Oh, my goodness. Saved the goal. And he gets taps on the bench.
God, he's so good.
Jacob Slavin. Carolina superstar on the back end. He is fantastic. U.S. controls in the offensive zone. Wrist shot. Awkward save there from Bennington as he was kind of hugging the post on a shot that came from like the top of the circles. But he still was
Every
able
save.
to gobble that one up.
Every save is
That was
awkward.
That was just an odd save selection.
Hey, man, I told you. It
I
never
know
looks
I
comfortable.
talked to you about that. Both of us being goaltenders. Oh, meanwhile, while nobody else can really interrupt us except for in the comments, goalie should get paid, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a lot.
I mean,
lot
Bob got paid. Bob got a cup.
Yep, got a cup. Goalie should definitely get paid.
It's true.
Mm-hmm. I honestly think we should hijack this whole thing and just make it a goalie thing now.
All right, I'm turning the game off. Let's discuss every goalie's salary and whether or not they deserve it and why they deserve more.
Oh my God. Because no, you know what? Because then I would just get upset because I would go back to Carey Price and the fact that I drafted him in fantasy and he missed the whole season.
You
Whole
drafted
season.
him first overall.
First overall, he was gone from the very first puck drop. Never stood a chance. Awful. Boldy in the neutral zone, coming in over the Canada line, throwing it towards the net, bounces in behind. He picks it back up. Eichel with it. Will cycle down low in behind. Makar is there to take that away and start moving it out to Braden Point in the neutral zone. He could really only get as far as the blue line before dumping it in. And Larkin does a nice job to protect the puck and start moving out into Canada territory. Drop pass. Goes right into Braden Point, and he'll start moving back the other way. Couple U.S. players collide, and Point has some space. Cross-ice pass from Makar is in his feet. And U.S. can transition back. I've noticed that a little bit too, Tanner, that the passing from Canada is either one too many or the final pass that's going to lead up to a shot is not a good one.
Yeah. I mean, all these guys are so good, and I think they all respect each other so much. And so, they're always trying to dish it that one extra one. Yeah. And I'm sure on the ice you hear just a bunch of, sorry.
Cutting in, they score. Sam Bennett got a feed pass and was able to cut down to the top of the crease and lift one up over the shoulder of Connor Hellebuck. We're tied at 2. Sam Bennett picking up his first point of the tournament. Beautiful pass there from Marner.
Oof.
Marner cutting to the middle there, sucked 2 USA players to him.
Yeah,
it looked like Hellebuck was kind of caught in between.
Yeah, he's pretty deep in his net on that one. For such a big guy, like, I don't know, like, how do you get beat up top that close?
It looked like he was expecting Bennett to almost cut back and make a move instead of make a shot there. Because he reacts late as well. I don't think he's expecting a shot. I think he's thinking that he's going to cut towards the middle. Sam Bennett ties it up.
0-0 game again.
0-0 game once more. Bennett's got 18 goals this year with Florida. He's no stranger to putting them in the back of the net either.
I always remember the draft year for them. And the big story was Sam Bennett can't do a pull-up.
Oh my God, I totally forgot about that.
And now now he looks like Yukon Jack or something from like the old the Rudolph movies.
I think it is Yukon Jack, now that you say that.
It might just be it's like Yukon something.
Yeah. The Blackhawks are going to get back to action on the 22nd. They'll be in Columbus, and then they come home on Sunday and play Toronto. What do you think? What do you think the locker room is going to be like, or the energy of those games is going to be like after watching this tournament? Obviously, they're going to be pretty jumped up, but at the same time, taking 2 weeks off, no matter what, it's going to kind of kill your legs a little bit. No.
Maybe. I feel like the guys that are playing in this tournament, like I don't expect them to like carry this energy over into Saturday.
Yeah.
And I would, if I was a betting guy, I would bet absolutely against a lot of the teams that have a lot of players in this.
Oh, I think there's going to be a bit of a hangover for some of these guys.
Yeah. And I mean,
just,
well, they're going to be playing hurt. I guaranteed it.
yeah.
Or that's what's going to happen. But yeah, I feel like a lot of guys that aren't playing though might be like so fired up from how intense this has been.
Yeah.
Like this makes me want to play hockey like so badly right now. And I can't imagine like some NHL players are probably like, God damn, man, I want to be a part of this next year. Or like,
yeah,
and they just want to like fly through a wall and just play their hearts out. But we'll see. I mean,
yeah,
it's going to be tough to watch after this.
I know we open up with Blackhawks and Blue Jackets. That's not necessarily the opening round of the playoffs or anything.
Bedard gets a hat trick, then I'm fine with it.
I know. Watch it be one of the best games of the season.
Hey, what was it last game? Like Columbus played the Hawks and it was like 6-4 or something like that.
Yeah, it was a good hockey game. It was back and forth. Canada making a push here again in the U.S. zone. Crosby able to shield the puck on his knee and lost his stick. Was able to keep the puck behind the net. Finally, Matthews able to come back, steal that away. Slavin behind his own goal. We'll wait for the rest of his team to finish out a line change. Boldy misplays a puck there in the neutral zone, and now back comes Canada. Pass across for McDavid, well out of his reach, luckily for USA. And we'll get a whistle stopping play with 4:56 to go on the clock. We're tied at 2.
Ooh, Washington and Pittsburgh on Saturday, huh?
Could be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, you get a tired Crosby and a fresh Ovi. Watch out.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding.
Washington, one of only a few teams, or one of 2 teams that had 0 players in the Four Nations tourney.
Yeah, kind of crazy that the Hawks were able to find somebody to play in this tournament.
Yeah, and sit out the last game.
Yeah, well, listen, they just ask how, not how many.
Hey, KD might have just been like, hey, let him rest.
Chipped into the Canada zone, picked up by Devin Tays. He'll come up the wall. Bounces away from Braden Point, and the U.S. will throw it right back on goal. Binnington forced to cover this puck. He was thinking about playing it. Elected to cover instead. Offensive zone draw here for the U.S.
Austin Matthews comes out, I'm guessing.
I would assume your best face-off guy is probably going to be on the ice, especially somebody who's got 2 points tonight. It is interesting, though, trying to be as impartial as I possibly can. Binnington, just from a outsider's perspective here, just really does not look sure on a lot of the decisions that he's making. Like that play right there, he wanted to play the puck and then decided he was going to cover it at the last second. That is the sign to me of a goaltender who is just really unsure of a lot.
I feel like he wants to do so much.
Just doesn't have the capacity for it, I don't think. Oh, good Lord. Big check there in the neutral zone on an unsuspecting Jack Hughes. No call on the play, and the U.S. is going to be guilty of icing with 3:50 to go in the second. Yeah, they're looking at Matthew Tkachuk right now. I was just about to say, I don't know if I've seen Matthew Tkachuk out there for a minute.
He's been out there a couple times, but I don't think he's been. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought he was out there a couple times.
6:23 of ice time. I'm assuming he got maybe a shift in the second period, a tested out shift.
It's possible.
And I think they're hanging on to him for, a better time maybe. Off the faceoff, gets sent out to center ice. Right back in the U.S. zone. Trocheck has it. He'll cross ice past this one over to Hanifin. He'll dump it in deep. Parayko there for Canada. We'll start moving back up the other way. Parayko whiffed on the dumping, goes right back to U.S. hands, and Slavin will throw a cross ice feed up ahead. There's Matthew Tkachuk. He'll dump it in and get right back off again.
Yeah, he's had 5 shifts in the second period.
Okay. Awful short if he's only at 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Slavin up ahead for Austin Matthews. He'll move it to Larkin, who takes a hit but is able to wrap it around the wall. Now pushed out to center ice by Team Canada. Slavin able to come across and knock that away from Marchand, and we'll get a whistle stopping play once again with 2:52 to go in the second. Dangerous play there from Slavin. That is you better win that race or it's a 2-on-0 type of situation.
Nothing to worry about with the Secretary of Defense back there. It's fine.
The Secretary of Defense. I love it. How long have you had that in your back pocket?
I forgot about that.
Is that an actual thing?
I think that's like it was brought up recently where they were saying nicknames for Slavin, and he was like, "Oh, please don't." And it just reminded me of the old Nicholas Hjalmarsson nickname of the Swedish missile defense system.
That's amazing. I'm certainly gonna put that one up here and remember it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Canada dumps it in. Clearing attempt held in by McKinnon. He'll wrap it around in behind out the other side past Marchand. McKinnon holds it in once more up ahead for Bennett, who tried to settle that one down. Puck was bouncing, however. McKinnon has it again out to the point. Here's Makar across from McKinnon at the circles. Makar jumping in. Pass across for him, bounced off the glass. He'll pick it up off the bounce. Makar looking down low for McKinnon. Couldn't get the pass to him, and it's flipped out of there by Gensel. Boy, when those two start clicking, that is scary.
Yeah, I'm glad that they haven't. So
yeah, that was the first shift where I was like, oh boy, these guys they play together. That's for sure. Dumped into Canada's zone. They'll battle for it along the corner boards, pulled out by Reinhart, and he'll start moving back the other way. To the middle for McDavid. Around a check of Slavin to the slot. His shot saved there by Hellebuck. He didn't get a lot on the shot, but Hellebuck still required to make a good save. Wrapped up the wall and pushed out to center ice by JT Miller.
Yes, the start of that play going into the zone, JT Miller hammered somebody just outside the blue line.
Been a couple of big hits in the last couple of minutes. Things are picking up physically. Out to center ice, 2-on-2. Larkin leading the rush. Will drop it off. There's a wrist shot deflected off of a leg of Harley and out of play. Brady Tkachuk gave it an extra shot there for good measure. As you see a good check there from Tkachuk on Doughty. Miller in the neutral zone. And good thing that Slavin got a bit of that McDavid chance. Otherwise, we might be 3-2.
I like that they got Larkin on that line now. He's been playing real good.
Yes,
giving
he
him
has.
more opportunities.
Yeah, he has been a pleasant surprise. 42 seconds on the clock. Eichel at the faceoff circle. He'll win this one straight back. Walking down is Werenski. Up to the point, Matthews, his wrist shot was blocked. Picked up by Cirelli. He'll come out to center ice and dump it in. That dump in went right into Noah Hannafin, so it's a quick turnaround for U.S. Canada gets it back. Cirelli's wrist shot misses the net. Hagel behind for Cirelli, 2 teammates. Out to the blue line, D. Makar has it here, holding on to it. Cutting to the far circle. Waiting, dragging around Eichel. We'll throw it back to Marner at the point. 8 seconds on the clock. His wrister goes wide. Makar in behind. Needs to make something happen here. Pass in front. Knocked away by Hellebuck. And the period ends. Well, maybe the period doesn't end as Marner gets a shot there from Brady Tkachuk. Look at that stat line at the bottom of the screen.
That's a good one.
Third period goal differential. U.S. +5. Canada -5.
That's one of those stats you'll love to see, and then you just know, like, just because they put it up there, it's going to be so opposite. It's like whenever you're watching like your home broadcast, and then they're like, this team hasn't scored in 16 power play chances, and then it's like bang right away, and you're like, yeah. Thanks for saying something.
Thanks for screwing it up for us. Shots in that period 9-8 in favor of the U.S. Once again, dead even in shots through 2 periods, 19-19. Face-off percentage. I thought, honestly, taking a look at it, if you had asked me, I would have said the U.S. was winning in the face-off circle.
Yeah.
They're getting out face-offed 53.5 to 46.5. That must have been a pretty big turnaround in the second period, because I know in the first they were doing very well.
And I feel like they've been winning a lot of big face-offs.
I would agree with that. The important offensive zone draws, like that last one from Eichel, clean win out to the point.
Which is funny. So Eichel's 44% right now. JT
Yeah,
Miller is 75%. Austin Matthews is 50%. And those are like their big face-off guys.
Yeah. Eichel in the tournament came into the game at 56. Miller was at 58. The only one who was below 50 was Larkin. Yeah, Larkin was at 35.2, but he's been playing on the wing mostly.
Yep.
In this game. All right, well, we are tied at 2 through 2 periods of play. If you are a betting man, I would bet that we are going to be tied after 3 periods as well. And I wonder if there's a change in the ruling for extra time for a championship game, because I know it was 10 minutes in the opening round. I wonder if they end up going to the 20-minute full-on playoff, or are they going to go by international rules of 10 minutes, and then if you don't get it, we're going to go to a shootout? I
thought I heard somewhere it was going to be like playoff rules.
Playoff format?
Yeah, but that I could be so mistaken, because I thought that was something that they mentioned like during the first game of the whole face-off.
Do you prefer, when it comes to international stuff, do you prefer them to keep it the way that they typically do with the 10-minute overtime, and then if they can't settle it from there, we'll go to a shootout? Or are you – I think that's – in a championship game, nothing should be settled via shootout, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. I love the, like, you keep playing until somebody drops. Like,
correct. Yeah, I don't. There's so much when it comes to a shootout that is in the favor of the shooter. Obviously, I'm taking the goaltender side on this. I'm never not going to, but there's
I
so
don't know
much
what you're talking about, because when I'm playing goalie, there is nothing in favor of the shooter.
No, not at all. Yeah, I'm speaking of personal experience. I can't stand the shootout. Uh, but no, I mean, at the end of the day, the shooter is in so much of an advantage in a shootout. I don't think that a championship game should be determined based off of a skills competition, basically.
True. True.
Just seems a little ridiculous to me. Roy
Yeah,
also thinks that it's
to
NHL
get all the way there and then
just to have it settled in a shoot. It's I don't know, it just seems anticlimactic almost.
mhm.
So all right, well, we will see. We're not going to get too far ahead of ourselves. We're only through 2 periods. We've got one more left. We are tied at 2 through 2. Going back to another intermission. We'll be back in a hot minute. See you there, bud.
All right.
All right. Third period just about to get underway. About another minute or so. We are tied at 2-2. We're about to head back to Boston, TD Garden, where yet another important hockey game is happening in Boston. How many incredible hockey games have happened in Boston over the past 2 decades, Tanner? I'm going, obviously, their cup final in 2011, game 6 in 2013, game 7 of the opening round in 2013, game 7 of 2019. A lot of just incredible hockey games have happened at Boston Garden, and they're getting another good one here.
I mean, yeah, and then there's game 7 of what last year in
Yep.
first round. Game 7. Well, I mean, not for them. That's good. But game 7 the year before in the first round.
Yeah.
And probably like game 7 the year before in that round when they more than likely beat Toronto. And yeah, there's a lot of big hockey games being played there. Not all of them are. I mean, it's kind of split with like
I was
whether or
gonna
not
say,
goes their way or not.
you take the Toronto aspect out of it, a lot of that's not going their way.
Oh no.
A lot of that is really, really not
I
going.
honestly think a majority of like all of it is against the Bruins.
Pretty much, honestly. The only other games that I can really think of are 2011, the conference final against Tampa. That
Okay.
game 7 was pretty epic. That was back and forth. I think that was like a 1-0 game or something like that. But they don't get to that game 7. Oh wait, no, that wasn't when they played Toronto. That was 2013.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean that's another one to kind of tack on that's in the favor of the Bruins. But I mean, other than that, yeah, I can't think of any other ones that go in Boston's favor. And
No.
thank God.
Just the way it needs to be.
That's
I guess
exactly how
I
it
guess
should
you could say Toronto died for that, and that's fine with me.
be. Had to be resuscitated. Matthew Tkachuk is certainly ailing on the bench. Just kind of scrolling through Twitter during that intermission. He was down for a good portion of that second period. He did get a shift towards the end. Seems like it was more of a tested out kind of shift, but he is hurting for certain. Canada has it in the neutral zone. They'll chip it in. McDavid after it, stripped of it there by Matthews, and back the other way come the U.S. Larkin holding on to it, driving towards the net. Turnaround shot was stopped there by Binnington. Pulled out by Makar, who chips it up ahead. Devin Taves up in the play. Chip it around Werenski. Gets stood up there as he did so. And Werenski is able to go up the wall and find Matt Boldy, who dumps it in. Eichel on the far side. Picks a pocket, throws it towards the slot, bounces away. Boldy there to pick it up on the near boards. See battles with Makar. Sent out to center ice by Canada. Werenski will dump it right back in. Took a funny hop off the corner boards, maybe the photographer window. Canada's still able to control, however. And they'll send it into the USA zone. Doughty in the neutral zone will go up the wall for Hagel. He'll chip it in, get after it. Hanifin there for the U.S. He'll throw it up the wall. Out to center ice. It's Matthews. One-on-one with Doughty. His wrist shot gets sent to the corner. And Sam Bennett will start back the other way. He'll dump and chase. Hellebuck there to stop it and wrap it around the wall. Fox took a good hit there from Bennett, but was still able to get the puck out. And Canada regroups. a lot more dump and chase in this third period. I was actually upstairs just kind of sitting and thinking, with this being the championship game, obviously you don't want to change your game too much, but inadvertently, how much does your game actually change by just playing it a little bit more safe than normal?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure butt cheeks are clenched,
Yeah.
and
No one wants to make
it's
that
gonna be
first
tight.
mistake. Yeah. And here we
Here we
go.
go. Here we
USA
go.
coming back the other way. And over the line, Gensel on the backhand. Save made there by Binnington. Gensel had some pressure coming in from behind. Had to get a backhander away. I'm sure it wasn't the shot selection he wanted, but was still able to get a shot nonetheless.
Wow, that puck just found him.
Yeah, and it was right in the middle of a change for Canada. I believe that was Sanheim that was going off the ice, and McCarr had to get back quick. Binnington able to shut it down.
Gensel's upset.
Gensel had 2 in the first meeting between Canada and U.S. Chopped up in the air and cleared out to center ice by Canada. Zach Werenski will move it along for Hanifin. He'll dump it in off the glass. Smart dump in, finds Gensel. Out top, Werenski save, made the rebound, loose in the slot, and it bounces just wide of the net. Once again, that all started from a smart dump in from the U.S.
And once again, Jordan Binnington can't make a clean save.
Scramble for it. U.S. controls in their own end. Thrown off the wall, Miller driving into the Canada zone will pull up and wait for the late coming man. Dropping it off. Nelson down low for Jack Hughes. Had to roll off the end of his stick, and Canada will flip it back through the neutral zone. Point on the forecheck gets in the way of that clear attempt. U.S. is still able to get it out to center ice briefly. Hanifin up the wall for Jack Hughes. Back to Hanifin. Hughes through the neutral zone will drop it off to Matthews. He'll go to Brady Tkachuk in the corner. His shot stopped there by Binnington, who nearly fell over. Matthews again for Hughes. Spinning away from a check as he gets pinned up along the boards there by Point. Keeping the play alive. Good pinch in there was Jacob Slavin. Hughes in the corner. Sends it in behind the net, picked up there by Parayko. He'll come out to the neutral zone. Bennett protects the puck nicely and is still able to get in over the USA line. Finds its way onto the stick of Jarvis, who let one rip. That goes off the glass and behind. Boy, is that a brutal camera angle.
Yeah, it's tough.
Oh, that was bad. Back at the blue line, wrist shot. Save made there by Hellebuck. He locates and reels that rebound in. Good shot there from Devin Taves. Through a screen, found a way to the net, and Hellebuck able to control.
That camera angle makes me think about all those movies when the main character gets knocked down and everybody's looking at him. How many fingers am I holding up? It's like, whoa, hey.
I think it might have looked something like this.
There you go.
You okay? Marner with it. His shot deflected on net. Hellebuck able to get a glove on that and once again reel in the rebound. Tanner, going back to fun goalie stuff. Of all the setups that you've seen, whose setup is setuping the most?
Oh, man, I don't know. Because I literally can't remember anybody else's at this moment.
No. I think Hellebuck might have the coolest mask.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Ottinger. I like Ottinger's mask a lot. They're really good.
USA gear. I mean, even just going into Jesus.
Oh, tip off the post.
even just the player gloves for Team USA, are pretty sweet.
I do like the white accents that are on the fingertips for a lot of the gloves. Back to the point, slap shot. Gets sent in behind. Trocheck is there. Was hoping to go back to Brock Nelson, hopped over his stick, and Taves will settle things down for Canada. Six minutes gone in the third period. Close chances on either end. None closer than Canada just then dinging one off the pipe.
USA is going to get a chance here.
They've got the line out there to do it. Gets flipped out to the neutral zone. Slavin will start it right back up. Brady Tkachuk will dump it in. Harley will wrap it around the wall. Held in at the point by Faber. Down low, Matthews looking in front. Bounces up over the goal. Gensel coming in, trying to jam that one home. Clearing a tap, knocked down by Slavin in the neutral zone. How good is Slavin Bennett just breaking up plays?
Yeah, he's been incredible. He's just a wall. The first line of defense before you even get to Hellebuck.
Up ahead. Picked up by Boldy. He's thrown down to the ground by Sanheim.
Ooh.
Pass out in front. Bounces around towards the side of the net out in front, but unable to get a good handle on that was the U.S. Now Sanderson. He'll dump it in. This one actually goes up out of play, and I think the faceoff is going to come just outside the Canada zone.
It's mentioning about Faber earlier being one of the youngest players in the tournament. Completely forgot Jake Sanderson is also 22.
Yeah. Hagel with the redirect. There's Eichel at the side. Oh, just had that roll underneath his stick. Braden Point also there to help clear away any trouble. But chances on both sides and just missing. I don't think it's going to be a pretty goal that ends up putting the next team ahead. I think that this is going to be a gritty, dirty, grimy goal. Traffic in front, picking up the garbage, maybe even a tip like 5 feet out in front. I think that's what we're going to get here.
It's going to go off a skate of a defender. They're going to look at it, see if it was offsides.
Yep. Jaron, what are you putting golden goal in here for? What are you trying to do? Put some bad juju on us? What's the matter with you? Nobody asked for that.
We don't need that.
We don't need that. We don't need that right now. Golden goal. You're a golden girl.
Ooh.
Boom. Got him. Got him. All right, well, while we've got some time, if you like what you see...
Click that subscribes.
You're having fun? Click the like button, subscribe. And just love us. We just want love. That's really what we're looking for.
Talk shit. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't read any of it.
I do. You could be nice to me if you wanted to. I read it.
Yeah, I mean, Jaron just tells me about it afterwards.
Oh my God. Tanner, I appreciate you jumping on, my friend. I hope you're having a good time.
I absolutely am. Like I said, love talking hockey. Especially whenever I'm watching you do the play-by-play, I'm like, yeah, all right. And then I want to chat and but I got no one to talk to. And now it's all right, I get to be a part of it. Hell yeah.
It was fun doing it the first time, but it's certainly a whole lot better having somebody else to just bounce stuff off of and not just hear my own voice the whole time. That's pretty sweet.
I could also just sit here and let you do your own thing the whole time.
If we get to overtime, I'll probably shut you up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
That's fine.
No. All right, neutral zone draw goes back into the U.S. zone. Slavin has it. He'll throw it out to center ice. This one's going to go all the way back down for an icing, so Canada will get an O-zone draw. just thinking about this Four Nations, we talked about it before. This is not what it was supposed to be. This is like best case Ontario times 400
Oh, absolutely.
for what the NHL was expecting. Now that they're introducing the World Cup of Hockey coming back again.
Which
What
I don't know how that's going to work.
I don't know how it's going to work either, but I feel like there's going to be so much more of a spotlight on every single move that gets made. Here's a chance for Canada. Good block there by Slavin, sliding out and getting that with his skate. As we get a whistle as the puck is tied up underneath Taves, who is tossed down on the ground. But I feel like there's going to be a lot of scrutiny on any and every roster decision that is made for all of these teams. And I feel like it probably would have happened before, but not to the extent that it's going to because of this tournament, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I think the funniest thing is, like, even going into the Olympics, like, Canada's already talking about, like, we need an answer for the Kachucks. And they think Tom Wilson is the answer.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't think that is the answer, but I do think that there needs to be a tougher force out there for Canada, because this is a very skill-based hockey team. The toughest guy that they have up front,
Sam Bennett,
him or Marchand, as far as just kind of getting in the rough stuff is what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but the smallest guy on the ice is not going to, I mean,
Correct.
he's going to get smoked by anybody one-on-one.
Right. So, I mean, this is a majority of a skill-based lineup where the U.S. is kind of a little bit of everything up and down the lineup. I might get, shot for this, but I think Canada personally has a better lineup overall than the U.S. has. I just think the U.S. is putting theirs to work a lot better with their system and the way that they play their game. I think that's working a lot better than Canada, what they're able to kind of put together.
I mean, I would disagree and say, like, I think the U.S. defense is better and U.S. goaltending is better.
Yep.
But, I mean, the forwards, it's so hard to not say Canada has, like, the best forward lineup.
Yeah, I mean, I just take one look at that power play unit, that first power play unit, and I'm like, yeah, nothing beats that up front.
It's just, if we could have had Quinn Hughes as well. Oof.
Oh, what a game
Also,
changer.
if Charlie McAvoy was also healthy.
Yep. What a game changer that would have been to have somebody like Quinn Hughes on the back end. And that's, we're talking about, picking 1A over 1B. I mean, it's not saying that any of the other defensemen here are, schmucks or anything like that, but Quinn Hughes is Quinn Hughes.
Yeah, there's the tiers of the defenseman, and Quinn Hughes is absolutely above all of the guys that are on the ice. He's up there with Makar, like, no joke.
Yeah. Even with, half a leg or whatever injury he's got going on. U.S. has control in Canada's zone. It's wrapped down in behind. Brady Tkachuk in behind. That Tkachuk, Larkin, and Matthews line going to work. Wrapped around to the far side. Picked up there by Canada, and out to center ice comes Cirelli. 2-on-2 with Hagel. Hagel will chip it in deep. Cirelli gets bumped in behind there by Larkin, but still able to control the puck and wrap it up the wall. Doughty, D-to-D.
Oh, yeah.
Harley's wrist shot, good block, getting in the lane there. Austin Matthews. Not just putting points up on the board, but working defensively as well. Out to the blue line, Doughty. Pump fake, then brings it down below the circle, looking out in front, went off of Werenski and cleared out of there by the U.S. One-on-one back the other way. Gensel chipping around a check towards the goal, swept away by Binnington.
Austin Matthews with a little backspin on that puck when he shot it into the neutral zone.
I think so. We're heading to another commercial break. Something that I thought about and I totally forgot until just now. What how much of a factor do you think it is that these guys only got a little bit of time to play with each other, get used to each other as line mates, and figure out the systems that they're playing with these teams based off of what they've been doing with their own respective team? And how much is that kind of playing into a factor now that we're 4 games in now?
I mean, these guys are all like some of the best players in the world, right? Like, I think that they can probably fall into it a little bit easier than like just a random, middle of the lineup guy coming into a new team.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of these guys have also been pretty familiar with each other throughout their lives. Like, they'll probably gel very easily. I mean, all they're doing too is like they're all playing for one thing. They're all playing for their country, and I think that's all these guys need in order to just become a tight knit group.
Yeah. Speaking as somebody who's never had to focus much on systems, obviously I knew what my team was doing, but it wasn't, if my guy goes here, I have to come up top and be here. Like, that never was a thought process for me until I was a coach. So just thinking about it as guys who are playing in the NHL with their own respective teams, they've got their own systems that they're so used to. It's ingrained in them. It's in their blood. Now they get pulled out of that for 2 weeks to pick up a different system and play with different players. It's just, I feel like there's got to be a certain point where a certain situation comes up and their brain just automatically reverts to, oh, here's what I was doing with the Panthers. Here's where I need to go. But it's completely out of position for what needs to happen for Team Canada.
Well, I'm sure it's probably just like you use simplified systems during this where you're not changing up too much. And you're just also like, these guys are so talented. You're really just counting on them to just play hockey.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are just going out there. You're playing hockey. You all know what to do. Just get it done.
Yeah. Here's a brief structure. Try to stick to it.
Yeah. Like, they'll notice things throughout the games. I think that's where a lot of the coaching is going to be coming in, is just how the game changes throughout.
Yeah.
And like making those minor adjustments. And that's where they're trying to win the game.
That makes sense too. Not trying to overthink it from a coaching standpoint and making life too difficult for these
plus
guys.
You have what, 4 different head coaches out there? Like, they all have a different idea and like how to do what they want to get done.
One of them being John Tortorella. You know, that's a guy who doesn't like to be told no or proven wrong.
Yeah.
So a lot of personality on those benches, that's for sure.
They're like, what is it? Mike Sullivan's probably like, all right, I want you guys to get the puck deep, and then Tortorella just pops his head out from over his shoulder, just like, and kick their ass.
And make
put them into the ground.
Throw a wall.
Just like a little parrot on his shoulder.
I wish we had an ISO cam on Tortorella with those 3 fights that started out the game. Time. I bet he was going absolutely nuts. The first thing that I did think of when those fights happened was when he was on Vancouver. Vancouver and Calgary started out with a 5-on-5 brawl. And the coaches almost went at it. I think it was him and Hartley.
Yes. Is that when he like starts to go towards the other locker room?
Yeah, in the intermission, he went to their locker room and tried to attack. I think it was Bob Hartley. Here's McDavid entering the offensive zone. Luckily, the puck rolled off his stick. He looks out in front, bounces away from Marner. McDavid after it once again. Gets a little help from Point. Taken away now by Brady Tkachuk, who's able to, from his knees, clear this one through the neutral zone. Never a good sign when McDavid has a whole zone of space to make something happen.
Yeah, it's like one of the scariest things out there right now.
Yeah. Fox up the wall will find Miller. He'll backhand it out to center ice. Those two just became teammates recently. Miller coming from Vancouver to the Rangers. His second stint out in New York.
Back to where it all started.
Back to where it all started and as far away as possible from Elias Pettersson.
Yeah.
Out to the neutral zone. Over the blue line, dipping the shoulder and driving towards the net was Chris Kreider, but He was knocked away, and Marchand back the other direction. Gets in over the blue line, had it knocked off his stick, but gets it right back again in the corner. Out to the blue line, slap shot, save made by Hellebuck. Rebound, bounces around in the slot. Picked up there by Slavin. He'll come up the wall with it. Held in by Canada. Bennett out to the blue line. D to D they go. Parayko's shot deflected off of Bennett and wide. He'll pick it right back up. Good pressure here for Canada. Sanheim's wrister. That misses the net. Out to the blue line. Bennett keeps it in. His long wrister. That sails wide. Finds its way to the side of the net, and Hellebuck will cover and allow his team to get a line change.
You don't like that.
Couple scary moments there from Canada. Good blocker there from Hellebuck, and just unfortunate that Faber was right where he was and skating back into the slot. Otherwise, it was a perfect rebound from Hellebuck. Face off to the left of Hellebuck. It's won by Canada. Taves has it at the point. His wrist shot never made it through, and McCarr's turnaround was blocked. And Larkin will come back the other way. Two number one lines going at it here. Crosby will pitch this one up ahead for Reinhart. He'll chip it in deep. Hannafin the first one after it for the U.S. as they come out to the neutral zone. Matthews leaving it there for Larkin, who's able to kick it into the offensive zone, but unable to get it to his stick, and Canada gets it right back out again. Zach Werenski around McDavid will dump it in. To the near side, it gets batted out to the blue line. Werenski is right there to pick it up. His long shot never made it through. And unable to clear that is Harley. He'll finally be able to push it out to center ice. And the U.S. will dump it right back again. Braden Point in the neutral zone. Will gain entry to the U.S. zone. Has it in the corner. Will cycle it down low for McDavid. Lost control of the puck there for a moment. Wraps it around the wall. Doughty will push it back down for McDavid again, and it bounced over his stick. U.S. will control, and Hughes will settle it down. Eichel just dangling his way around a couple of players. Calm, cool, collected, and then dumps it in.
Yeah, wish he would have put that in the corner rather than like right on net.
Yeah. Or at least tried skating that in a little bit more.
Yeah, he got around everybody and then was just like, oh, okay. I have open ice now, but like, let me get rid of it.
Yeah. Slavin in his own end will go up the wall. Hughes is able to chip it to the neutral zone. Canada will throw it right back in. Slavin will backhand it through the middle of the ice. Find Kreider. His wrist shot into the glove of Binnington. He'll hang on.
If Chris Kreider ends up winning this, I'm going to laugh.
Just because he's not on your bingo card?
No, I didn't think that he would be on this team.
Understandable.
It's like I keep forgetting that he's out there too. And like the last time that they showed like Matthew Tkachuk's like ice time, they also threw Kreider up there like he's hurt. No, he's just not playing. They're just not playing him.
They're just sitting him down. That's on purpose.
I don't think he's hurt at all.
Kreider not having a outstanding season as far as points go. He's got 16 goals and 4 assists on the season. 20 points.
He was scratched too.
Yeah. Well, the Rangers went through a very tough time there for about 2-3 weeks, maybe even close to a month.
Yes.
Where a lot of their top guys were something was going on in that locker room, and I'm not sure what it was because they don't allow the press to go anywhere anymore in New York.
Oh yeah.
They certainly don't allow them to go on the road, but I don't think that whatever was happening at that point was getting out to the press at all. But something was going on, and it was affecting pretty much that entire team.
Yeah, it was everybody was playing poorly, like beyond
Yeah.
poorly. They shipped out Trouba, the classic
Yep.
Rangers getting rid of your captain move.
Yep.
Also, that was Kreider's second shift of the third period.
You know what? Got to make them all count.
Yeah, got a shot.
You know you're not getting much. You better do something when you're out there, bud.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you're in trouble. So, 4 nations face off. Obviously, we've got Canada, U.S., Finland, Sweden. And these are the best of the best. That's how this whole tournament has been promoted. These are the best players that we possibly have. My question is, if the Russians were able to have a team in this tournament, are we still looking at a USA-Canada final?
I'd say yeah. I'd say like Russia definitely competes, but I don't think the depth is the same as US or Canada. They easily have like tied for first in the goaltending.
I think that they could be close to Canada from an offensive perspective too, though. I think if they get the right guys who are producing at the right time, that they could certainly go blow for blow with Canada from
Like
a
all
goal
four
scoring.
lines, though.
Maybe not all 4 lines, but
Mhm.
maybe top 2 lines are scoring at a bit of a higher clip than the bottom 2 are for Canada. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was
Yeah.
just something that I was thinking of the other day where, yes, these are certainly the best of the best in this tournament, but we're also missing a pretty big juggernaut in the Russians.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, their biggest asset is goaltending by
Absolutely.
far. But
Absolutely.
like, sure, you can have 3 of the best goalies on your team, but only one can play.
Yeah.
And if only one goalie's playing, I think currently the best goalie out there is Hellebuck.
Yeah, I would agree.
And then you got to put, 6 solid defensemen in front of them, and I think US takes that too.
It's just an interesting thought of how it could change. I understand why they're not in it. I just, in a different time space continuum, I think it would just be kind of cool to see what would have happened there. Here's a chance for the U.S. Possible 2-on-1 there with Eichel and Boldy. Boldy unable to get a shot off. McDavid back the other way, puts it up off the glass.
I like the idea of the 4 nations being, like a couple rivalries.
Yes.
So maybe next time Russia can be a part of it, and then we'll somehow get Ukraine to be in there.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, mercy. Oh, man. I don't know if I wanted to watch. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't think it'll work out too well.
I don't think that would work out too well. No. Maybe if Putin could be part of the Russian team, like he wants to be.
Yeah, then they'd have to win.
And he has to be the leading scorer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, none of those players go back to the NHL.
Awful. Dump back into Canada's end, wrapped around the wall, and out to center ice. Hagel is there, pushing it forward. Had Cirelli there to support. Couldn't get it to him. And Taves will settle it down back at his own blue line. Matthew Tkachuk has not seen the ice this whole third period.
Taves with it. Bill Zito's upset.
Oh, McKinnon walking in and firing one. Good stop there from Hellebuck. McKinnon didn't get a lot on that shot. And Hellebuck able to close the pads together with $1:29 left to go in the third. We stay tied at 2. Oh, he got more on it than I thought he did. I think the biggest thing is he had to get around the official.
Oh yeah. You know what's funny is like just that shot and save, like Hellebuck looks so much more in control
Yeah.
than any of the saves that Bennington's made. And I think that the US really just needs to start throwing everything on net.
Yeah.
Because throw it on net and have everybody crash. Like all these pucks are ending up like all over the place.
Well, and I think here's a chance at the side, and then Eichel going right through the crease and out the other side. Boldy picks it up and goes in behind, bounces away from Eichel, and Crosby will take over. I think that was one of the things that happened against Finland in that third period is that first goal went in the last, what was it, 2 minutes or something like that. And as soon as that goal went in and Finland started getting just a little bit of life, Bennington just started falling apart.
Yeah. He was
Absolutely
flopping all
started
over the
falling
place.
apart. Yeah. They were lucky that Crosby got that empty net goal because I'm pretty sure Finland would have found a way to tie that game.
Yeah, I think
There's
that
a
they
chance
were
back for feet, wide
absolutely
open
feeling it.
net. Cleared away by the U.S. That was a scary moment there for the U.S. Wrist shot from the point from Taves hits the glass in behind. Picked up by the Americans, and Hughes is able to get it out to center. Cale Makar coming back in, walking and shooting one, floated into the glove of Hellebuck that seemed to change direction on him. And Hellebuck able to get the glove on it with 5.6 left. Close call here for the Canadians. Oh, that was ticketed for the stick of Connor McDavid and Noah Hannafin. No, I'm sorry. JT Miller saves the day. Who saw that coming? Face off to the right of Hellebuck. Crosby going up against Eichel. Crosby wins it back. Taves a shot from the point, blocked down by Eichel. And we are going to overtime.
Who would have thought?
Who'd have thunk it? No goals in the third period. Oh, and the last time these two teams met in overtime,
Nobody
the golden
remembers.
goal. The golden goal. Jerem started it. I'm just finishing it. Sidney Crosby.
God dang it. This is going to be great.
This is either going to be a 4 overtime game or this thing's going to be over in the first 5 minutes.
Oh, it's first 5 minutes. And you know
Yeah.
what? It's Matthew Tkachuk stepping on the ice first thing.
Oh my God.
It's
Kinda like,
it's going to just be like he's going to go like this and be like, is that Matthew Tkachuk's music? And it just sets up right in front.
Kind of like Steven Stamkos in the COVID Stanley Cup final.
Yes.
Only one shift and he scores on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God. All right, well, we're through 3 periods. Shots 27-24 in favor of the U.S. They're clawing back in the faceoff circle too. 50.9 to 49.1 in favor of Canada, but we stay tied at 2 through 60 minutes of play. We will be back with overtime. This is going to be fun, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Going to be fun.
Let's get it.
This could be fully.
Things get interesting, and Jerem hops on the show.
Oh yeah.
There's no way I'm not sitting here watching overtime with you boys.
All right, so now that we got Jerem on, what have you seen so far, Mr. Zachary?
It has just been so much fun to watch. I mean, I was one of the few people that were kind of like against this whole tournament, thinking just a gimmicky. You know, it's not truly best on best, but could I have not been more wrong? I think that the NHL has been looking for a way to separate themselves from NBA, NFL, and this term has done exactly that. And for this game to go to overtime like this, it's just, I don't know if you can write a better script.
No, I would agree.
It has been so much fun watching this. I mean, it has been sloppy at times, but give me this sloppy hockey, the sloppy hockey at times for this over a no effort all-star weekend any day of the week. This is awesome. I'm so pumped.
I would
Beautiful.
absolutely agree. This is exactly as the script should have put this together. This is the way that the movie script was supposed to be. Canada and USA going to the championship game, being pretty much dead even throughout the entire hockey game, going all the way down to face-off percentages. And it's going to be decided in overtime. USA has not yet played in overtime in this tournament. Canada has their very first game. Mitch Marner was the one to pick up the OTGWG in that game. And the U.S. is looking for their first victory over Canada and a team built with NHL players since 1996.
It's not too long ago.
No, God, no.
It's 10 years ago.
Yeah, 3 decades or anything. Good Lord. Thrown out through center ice. First shot for each goaltender is going to be very important. Make the save, make it look easy.
Let's hope it doesn't get to that point for USA.
Yeah. Well, hey, the whole storyline about Connor Hellebuck, can he make the big save in the big moment? We're about to see right here, right now. Will we see gloves dropped in overtime? Logan, thanks for joining. That's Justin's cousin. Logan is a betting wizard. I'm gonna start taking his ideas. No, I don't think that we're getting any gloves dropped in overtime. However, I'm in for the chaos if that happens. I'm here for it.
I think the refs probably put their whistles in their pockets.
Oh, absolutely. It has to be.
Has to be in their pockets most of this game. I mean, they've really let the boys play.
Yeah.
Eichel strips it at center ice, gets in over the line. Bad angle shot, kicked out by Binnington. The rebound cleared out to the point. Turnaround shot gets blocked down by Makar, and back the other way comes Canada. An errant pass goes all the way down, and icing waved off for some reason. U.S. will turn it right back up, though. Boldy across for Nelson, shooting one. That one goes wide. Wrapped around the wall. Werenski gets it down deep. Doughty able to pick it up ahead for Stone. He'll hit Hagel through the neutral zone. His wrist shot stopped there by Hellebuck. Rebound goes back to Stone. He'll turn and shoot one, deflected off a stick to the corner. Hagel there to pick it up. His turnaround shot didn't make it to the net. Stone carries on. He'll cycle it down low where Werenski takes over, and he'll throw it up the wall. Doughty keeps it in. Another thing to keep an eye on, this is basically like the second period where the long change is going to be a factor. Going to be hard to get your line changes as U.S. is vying for too many men on the ice. It was close for Canada, but I think they got by. Oh, man, that first attempt for U.S. Eichel went off the blocker and it just bounced away. I think it was Boldy going to the net. Oh, yeah, that's too many guys out there for.
Yeah, what is that?
Canada. That was close.
Let the boys play.
Yeah, and then they call the icing.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say is they didn't touch the puck. That actually, a good point, Tanner. That should not have been icing. If they had screwed up their line change that bad, that should not have been an icing call.
Yeah.
Face off to the right of Hellebuck. Relatively tired group of USA players out there. Picked up by Faber. He'll be able to push it out to the neutral zone. Brock Nelson will get it in deep. How hilarious would it be if Grandpa Nelson is the one to end this game?
Yeah.
McDavid walking in and shooting one. That one gets blocked. And Matthews mishandles the puck, goes right back to McDavid. He's got Marner up top. Marner picks it up. Pass up to Makar. Knocked away by Matthews, and Brady Tkachuk will send it in deep. Matthews on the forecheck. Gensel there going up to the point. Sanderson looking for goal number 2 on the day. We'll wrap it around the wall in behind. Larkin there for Gensel in front. Matthews, what a save by Binnington, his best of the day. Oh, great setup for Austin Matthews in front, and he was denied. Backdoor feed. Sanderson goes up over the net. 2 great chances there for the U.S. Can't convert.
Ooh, man. Really thought one of those was going in.
I thought so, too. I thought Matthews was going to end it. Held in at the blue line. Shot at the net was blocked down off to the races. Here comes Marchand in his home rink trying to get towards the goal. Was held up from behind by Gensel. Great job to do it legally. Cleared out to center ice. Eichel 1-on-3 waiting for trailers. Is able to get it to Faber. His wrist shot that gets, or excuse me, that's Boldy. His wrist shot's blockered away. Another shot deflects off of a leg and goes up into the netting. Take a look at this replay. Oh, mercy.
God, how good has Jake Gensel been, man?
Mm-hmm.
He is just taken his game to a whole nother level, I feel, this year.
I think because it's basically Game 7 atmosphere in Boston, that's why you're not going to see any goals out of Austin Matthews.
Yeah. It just fits, honestly. It really
I mean, that means we also don't have to worry about Mitch Marner.
That's true. That is true. Unfortunately, Matthew Tkachuk is still injured. U.S. will chip this one up to the blue line. Dumped in by Nelson. Picked up by Reinhart. Canada will control in the neutral zone. Chip it in deep. Slavin the first one after it there. Needs some help from Hughes, who's able to get it up the wall and out to center ice. Brock Nelson had that one swatted out of midair. Slavin will take over once more for the U.S., bouncing it into the zone. Matthews takes over, shoots, big save made, rebound Brady. Oh, and diving back, Jordan Binnington with the glove. Brady Tkachuk along the goal line, throwing it at the net, but Binnington diving back, and big game Binnington has showed up.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're
no,
wrong.
I mean, for how bad he's been, this season and the criticism he's getting, I mean, you got to give it to him. He has been playing out of his mind in this one.
He's been playing okay.
I truly do think the first 3 periods, he picks another one out of the air. He's feeling it now. First 3 periods, I did not trust him in net. I did not think he looked good. He looked shaky. Rebounds weren't great. I think that save from Matthews got him into the game. Brady Tkachuk behind the net, able to chip it around for Matthews. Out to the blue line. Hannafin will throw it right back where it came from to Tkachuk on the far side. Pinned up along the wall. Pops free in behind the Canada net where Binnington will play it around. And it gets forced out to the neutral zone. Bank pass deflects off of the leg of Cirelli. U.S. will control. Doughty will take back for Canada. Marner's pass deflects. Boldy will dump it in. Cleared back through the neutral zone. Faber up the wall. Hits Brock Nelson at the blue line. He gets pinned up along the wall right in front of the USA bench. Doughty up ahead for Marner. He'll chip it in deep. Hellebuck there to play it along. U.S. out to center. Picked off by Taves. He'll go D-to-D with Makar through the neutral zone. Crosby waiting and shooting. That one was stopped by Hellebuck. Puck bounces up into the air towards the slot and cleared out of danger by the U.S.
I think Crosby's the last player I want to see shooting the puck.
Mm-hmm.
The most clutch player on the ice for sure. Makar holding on to it. Picked up by McKinnon out to the blue line. Taves' wrister, that never made it through. Bounces around to Larkin. He's able to settle it down and get it up ahead for Matthews. 2-on-2 with Tkachuk. Tkachuk is able to bounce it in deep. Matthews after it there. Out to the blue line. Walking and shooting is Werenski. That one was stopped. Larkin will pick it up again, circling up top.
Ooh.
Will throw it in behind. Taken away by the Canadians. McKinnon will move it along for Reinhart. He'll chip it in and get a change.
Got a little dangerous up top there, huh?
Yes, it did. That was close to being a potential breakaway. I do like that the best scoring chances of this period have come from Austin Matthews.
Mm-hmm.
He had been relatively quiet from a shooting standpoint in this game. I like that he's starting to let it go.
Oh, good pick.
Here's Werenski up ahead. Nelson back to Borowski over the line. He'll throw it on goal. That's easily sticked aside by Bennington. JT Miller spinning away from a check in the corner, out to the blue line. Hannafin throwing it toward the goal. That one missed the net. Bounces to the far side. Miller back to the blue line where Fox had that one in his feet. All he could do was just dump it right back in, and U.S. has to get back on side. Long feed up ahead for Point. He'll pull up out to the blue line. Long slap shot misses the net. Cleared out by Nelson. Race for the puck. It's going to be icing on the U.S. Quick moving overtime. We're already almost at the halfway point.
Jesus. Just like holding my breath the whole time.
Yeah, cut the tension with the knife in here, fellas.
That one hit. Oh my god.
That was that crossbar?
I don't
Looks
think it's
like
I think I think it hit somebody's shoulder.
Oh.
It felt like it was too high for crossbar.
It looked like a nothing play and real speed.
That's what's gonna end up happening, man. It's gonna be a nothing play, and then the puck's just gonna be in the back of the net.
It's a shot off the face-off that gets sent wide by McDavid. Gets it right in the slot, shoots and scores! Connor McDavid and Team Canada reigns supreme. Connor McDavid has won the Four Nations Championship for Team Canada. And is that not a torch has been passed moment?
I'm not. Who cares? None of this would have happened if Quinn Hughes was allowed to play.
Sidney Crosby with the golden goal in 2010. Connor McDavid with the championship-winning goal in overtime, right in between the hash marks.
They need to do it with an American on their team.
Yeah. I'm gonna go hands up here, boys. That's on me. The entire time I'm thinking McDavid. Talk about like not showing up when it matters. McDavid has been like useless today. It felt like couldn't control the puck, bad shots, attempts, and then of course, literally as I finished that thought in my head, he scores.
Who does
hands
it?
Up? That's on me.
Austin Matthews leaves him wide open.
Set up by Mitch Marner. And that is blown coverage by the Americans.
What a shot.
Connor McDavid all alone in between the dashes. That's a goal 100% of the time.
Oh, yeah.
All right, fellas. I know it wasn't exactly what you were hoping, but what a hockey game we got.
You know,
and what a tournament.
You know what's good to be good is this is setting up for next year.
Yep.
You don't have to wait long for the rematch of this, and already you think Americans already got the dates circled for the Olympics and when their first matchup's going to be. God, I love international hockey. I absolutely love it. There's nothing better.
Good. It's so good. So much fun.
What, Matthew Tkachuk's hurt basically the whole second half of this game. No Quinn Hughes. I'm telling you, next year is going to be a different team.
You gotta really think that they're gonna make some different changes. You know, bringing Quinn Hughes. You know, hopefully he's healthy. Knock on wood. You gotta think like a Tage Thompson's gonna get a bigger look now.
Well, Kreider's not gonna be there. I doubt Nelson makes it again. Like,
I don't understand the move of playing Kreider today. I just, that to me was a little confusing because
I was gonna play. He was on the team.
It was Kyle. They held on Kyle Connor.
Yeah, forgot about that.
That's why I was kind of confused because I feel like Kyle Connor's the better option out of the two. I don't know what the mindset is. And then you barely played Kreider. That like it's like was it really that much of a handicap from Thompson? Or I'm sorry, from Connor?
were they worried that Kachuk would go down and they would need somebody similar, and that's why they kept Kreider in?
That's a good question because I mean, even when Kachuk went down, Kreider was sitting on the bench. They had
He
that.
still barely played.
Yeah, they had that stats that like the last time they both had a shift.
Yeah. But one of those is not like the other.
Oh man, that was beautiful though.
All I'm saying is last time Matthew Kachuk was hurt during a big game, and then the next year came around. Things were a little different.
You never know. This is a very talented U.S. squad that played very well throughout the entire tournament. There's just something about Team Canada in a championship game that is so damn hard to beat.
This just in, Mark Stone is on the IR.
For Vegas, he got hurt in the championship game against Canada. Will be able to play April 18th.
Yep.
Jeez Louise.
Can we offer you a nice Seth Jones to take his roster spot?
Yeah, no kidding. Oh,
well, that was a fun game.
That was a fun game. It was a fun tournament. And
it's like, go ahead and enjoy your pointless win.
That means nothing, losers.
Yeah, why play Hughes in OT? Yeah, I don't know. Hoping he finally figures it out.
The New York, New Jersey metropolitan area players just feel like they just put up a big goose egg this whole tournament. Like,
I think JT Miller was very noticeable.
Yeah.
Good defensive plays. He's trying to muck it up. I don't like Adam Fox. Like, has he plateaued? Like, when he entered the league, it was like him and McCarr and Quinn Hughes. And it's like, oh shit, like this is gonna be like legit. And now it's like Quinn Hughes and McCarr have like really separated. It feels like.
Yeah,
I don't know if he plateaued or I think it's just another version of the game is evolving a little bit, and that kind of defenseman like the Quinn Hughes and the Cale McCarr is that top tier. The top tier was Adam Fox there for a hot minute. Now that these guys are here, it's just another level.
I don't know.
Oh,
yeah, I'd like to see like if we had like that's the thing. Like if we had that Quinn Hughes, I mean Werenski, fantastic. All-time leader in points in Four Nations face-off, Zach Werenski.
God bless him.
Absolutely fantastic. But yeah, if we get him and if we had Quinn Hughes, like that's two solid offensive defensemen who know how to hold their own defensively.
Yeah.
Slavin, Slavin's easily penciled in for next year.
Dude, Slavin is another example. Like to me, he's in the Hjalmarsson category where it's like there needs to be a defensive defenseman award.
Yeah, this kid, he's never going to win an individual award because there isn't one for him.
But he is so important in his role that he plays out there and his skill set for that defensive position. And it's just no acknowledgement is going to come his way because of it, because the way the voting goes.
It would be really funny if like Carolina ends up winning a Stanley Cup, and because they're such like a not like superstar heavy team, and like I'm sure everybody would be similar in points, maybe like 16 to 18 the most by somebody. They just go, yeah, it's Slavin. It's just he was doing it all, like kind of how like Forsling was like in talks to be like possible, like just how shut down they are. But I could see that happening if Carolina was to go all the way.
Crazier things have happened, that's for sure.
Yeah. Give it to a guy on the losing team.
Connor McDavid, overtime game-winning goal for Team Canada to give them the victory in this championship game to win the Four Nations face-off championship, and they're going to get a nice, beautiful trophy at the end of it. All right, boys. I think that's about it for me. Any final words?
Go
USA
Hawks.
hockey, baby.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Oh
USA
yeah,
hockey, baby.
during the intermission going into OT, I watched the "Oh Mama, Don't You Cry" like chant on like 8 different videos.
Yeah.
They'll be back. Maybe we'll
That's
be
the only
back.
way you're hearing it tonight.
Yep, I was waiting for it, but that's okay.
Oh, well. MVP going to McKinnon, and that will do it.
Yeah, last thought. Let Canada have this one because the cup's definitely not going there.
Good point. All right. On those words, on behalf of Tanner and Jerem, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, love us wherever you can, and we'll see you next time. So long, everybody.
I'm going, boys.
Bye.